Well, hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Bee Chat with me, Nancy, your host. I'm going to go and pin. Here it is. The sign in here. Okay, that's done. Okay. So how is everybody? The invite is pinned to the chat. So if you're interested in coming in. So it's February, dreary up here in the Northeast, dreary gray day. What a time to start a bee chat when there's really nothing to even talk about. But let's see who's in. Hi, Gary, Stu, Mike, James, Dennis. Those are my regulars. Yeah, so not too much going on. I haven't even been down since a week ago into my to even look at them. I mean, I can look at them through with the binoculars. Down in the back, all my hives are here at my house. I do have two hives at a commercial place. But those aren't technically mine. I just manage them. The snow was staying put. We got about, I guess, about 3 inches, I want to say, over through the night. Hey, there's Charlie. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, I was wondering about whether you're gonna let me in the night.
Yeah, I wasn't looking. I try not to look at the screen all the time, but oh, there's Lee too. Hey, Lee. Yeah, so we got about 3 inches, I guess. Just a wet, heavy snow. So I did look down at the hives there to see, and the snow stayed on the front porches. I don't know if it's still there or not, but they're way up top. So I didn't expect that to really, melt or anything today. So, and they're definitely not flying. But did some got into my course. I'm doing that drone course from Penn State with Robin Underwood. And I know that Bill had asked for some of these articles. So I'm going to get them to him. But so what did we start? This week's homework is 2 articles that David Tarpey writes on. One is production and morphology, quality of commercial honeybees. I hadn't read that one yet.
There.
And another article that I did read and did the quiz on it. So, hi, Bill. But the one article was about whether the bees prefer a certain egg when they make a queen. How do they pick those eggs? So yeah, it's pretty deep. Some of these articles are pretty nerding out pretty good on them with the science, but I don't pretend that I know half of it, but I can bring it in and digest it and spit it back out again a little bit, but not today, not right away. It needs to float around in there and simmer a little bit. But so let's see who's
say hey to
Bill
Bill and Lee and Mike and
yeah, a whole bunch. Tom's here.
Yeah.
Where's
Hi,
Bill
Nancy.
Lee? Where's Bill Lee? I don't think I have him in my little list yet. Do I? No. Bill Lee. Where are you from, Bill? I think he won. The name's familiar.
he's on my chat.
Yeah. I think he won something one night that made me think of.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, he won something on what was it? StreamYard, perhaps. Magnolia Bee and Supply. Okay, there's a new one. Georgia. All right.
Yeah.
Magnolia Bee and Supply. Some new ones here today.
He is out in Texas.
Oh, okay.
That's one of Bill's friends.
Oh, okay.
He's a bee
Any
supplier.
friend of Bill's is a friend of ours, of course.
Bill's and he met you at Nobby too.
Oh, geez, now I'm embarrassed.
He stayed at
didn't
the
remember.
same hotel at mine for I think one also.
Bees still got bees. Here's DC. Magnolia, what's your first name? Did I met you? I wonder. I don't. Mid Missouri. Okay, there's Charles. DeVere. Sounds French, but I'm not sure of that. Mid Missouri.
It's Andy.
Oh, we talked about the feeders. You want some modifications. Oh, right. Okay. So that was with Bill. We talked about that square in hive feeder and in mother load. I think it was also talking about that, making some of those. Okay, so yeah, you were the guy that came over to the table when we were talking, and then Fred came over, and yeah. Oh, hi, Bruce. Nice to have you. Oh, okay. So Magnolia, Andy. So you printed, or wait, what did you say Magnolia was? What was the Magnolia's name?
Andy.
Andy. Okay, I thought. Okay, there you go. Put in the wrong list.
You said he printed one, but ain't quite right.
Yeah. Yeah. So so we talked a little. I talked with Bill a little bit about it. They need to be deeper. So I think Motherload is running some of those top in hive feeders as well. So we'll see what comes up with it. But I wasn't able to get the lids on some of my Rapid Rounds this year because I put the Hive Alive on the fondant, and then the lid didn't fit, so it really made me nervous about not having a real tight seal on the top, even though there is a medium box around them. There's insulation above and below. I also put in a burlap bag, and the burlap bag absorbs moisture if there is any, so it kind of lets me know. I kind of use the burlap as a tool to let me know how much moisture is in that box, and if I need to make any adjustments, or it's a good indicator if there's excess moisture somehow coming up into that top box that I have on top. How do I do? Yeah, okay. So they must be new from other. Yeah. What we're trying to create? Yeah, they don't have it. We're trying to figure it out. So, but again, it was just kind of thought up there during the expo. So they had other things on their plate. So Tom, you got 3 inches too. That's what we got.
Yeah, that's what I got.
3 inches and then light rain all day today, about 34 to 36 degrees.
I don't know what it is. 33. It's 33 now up here.
We're supposed to warm up to 40 by middle of the night. So a little bit of warm air comes from south.
Yeah, I guess your rain is coming. There's Matt. Hi, Matt. I guess
Hey, Matt.
yeah, your rain is coming our way here. tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah, it's kind of misting out there this afternoon, and it was warm enough to where what I scraped off all the blacktop here, it all melted and everything's clean and all that stuff.
I got an email for some more nukes to sell some more nukes. So I think I don't know. I think I sold 5 or 6, but I don't take deposits because it just makes me nervous.
I
I'll
never
sell
did
them.
either. I never did either.
That just makes me nervous. Like I just tell
Well,
people to,
it's less hassle. If something
yeah,
happens and you got to take them, you got to keep records of, hey, you gave me $100. Well, here's it back, and it's what a hassle.
yeah.
All that stuff.
And lots of things can happen between now and then, you know. So I just save them into my phone with what their order is. Like it'll say, you know, Matt 2 nukes or Lisa 2 sets. So I'm gonna push the sets a little bit more. And I don't know if everybody knows what the sets are, but the sets are for beekeepers who have drawn comb. So it wouldn't be a first year beekeeper, be second, third, you know, somebody that lost some hives, but they have drawn comb. So what I sell them then is 2 frames, 2 or 3 frames, whatever they kind of feel they need. One with the queen, um, her brood, larva, all stages of, you know, eggs, larva, and brood, and then worker bees. And then we just plug that right into their 8 or 10 frame, even a 5 frame that you bring to the house. And then we plug that in, and you know, I strap it down and put some screen. I don't put the inner covers. I did see someone recently moving hives, and they kept the tele telecover on, and I don't use put the telecover on. I leave that off, or tell them not to bring that. Just bring their inner cover, and then we put screen. I tape screen on that, and then I tape the entrance. I put screen on the entrance, so there's lots of airflow going on when you're moving hives like that. So, but the sets, yeah, the sets I think are a real good choice for, and they're the price of packages, whatever packages are the market value of packages. Um, and that's what I sell the sets for, the amount of money that I sell the sets for. So I'm trying to give people that option, or trying to get that mindset out there that there's another way other than just packages or 5 frame nuke.
Greg and I were texting about roofs over bees. I know Mr.
Hmm?
Ed talked about it some years ago, and he swears by it. He says
What
he
is it?
gets putting like a roof, or like I'm going to put a lean off my barn, so it keeps the sun, keeps the snow, keeps the rain off the hive.
Hmm.
Basically, I'm putting them in the shade. I
Yeah.
know my, I know I catch all my swarms and my traps are in the shade versus full sun. So I think there would be this same logic that bees shouldn't be in the full sun.
I would
Doesn't
say
make
it's
any sense.
Yeah, mine are,
Bees and trees aren't in
yeah.
full sun.
Well, I guess
Not
there's
above them.
arguments for both.
Oh yeah, there always is.
We wouldn't be beekeepers if there wasn't. Mine are all in full
Well,
sun. I mean, there's dapple shade, like some of the Russian olives now are have, you know, I'm 7 years at this property. So some of those Russian olives that I left go, I know they're invasive, but they do accent, they do provide a really good nectar source in spring for the bees. So some of those give me dapple shade now, but mine are all mine, I started in full shade, which is kind of why I don't wear a suit. I don't wear a jacket, because I would have, I mean, I just die in that heat. So I wouldn't have been able to become a beekeeper if I had to wear a suit.
So you don't
Big
wear it?
fan of wearing suits. They're too hot in the summertime.
Oh my goodness, yeah, no. And I'm gonna be doing these chats, these live chats out in the yard as soon as this weather clears. So I'm gonna talk to some of you guys about, what kind of camera. I kind of want a camera like up here where my eyes are. So when I'm doing things in my hive, you can see. I don't want to put it on a tripod, but I don't know what my options are, and I haven't really looked yet. Uh,
Dr. Lee, he brought up in one of
yeah,
his YouTubes on a good camera system. I remember looking it up and I liked it too. But I can't remember off the top of my head what brand it was. It wasn't
yeah.
GoPro, it was somebody else.
He's been steering me in the right direction for sure. I'm getting some sticker shock though on some of those cameras. I'm like, oh dang. Yeah, I don't know.
If you want a GoPro, I got a, because I'm a member of that thing, or whatever you want to call it, you can get a discount.
Oh yeah. When I'm there. Yeah, with fancy cameras. I want one that's kind of like that's mounted on my shoulder or
Oh
I
wow.
don't know,
Okay.
something like that.
What are you going to put a mount on so you can have it hanging on a pendulum so
So
you
that it's like
won't move
so
around?
those mistletoe hats where the mistletoe is hanging over your head.
Mm. You're going to have
That's
a,
what I
what
want
do they
to do.
call that? Not a gantry? No, that's not what it's
Gotta
called.
see that.
No, you won't see it. That's the point, is that you're gonna see, like, when I'm in the hive and I'm pulling out, frames and looking at bees and finding whatever I find in there, disease, or if I find bees that have issues or bees that are doing great, things like that. So
Right.
somehow that it's not going to be, that I have to go on a tripod and move it around. So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't even looked into it yet. I just have ideas. I'm a great one for ideas. Yeah, Lee,
I
I
know.
got Lee. Lee's on speed dial for me. So yeah,
Yeah, I
gimbal.
know they got ones that like for guys that wear baseball caps, you can clip them right on the cap.
Yeah, yeah. So I bought my new hat. I showed it last week, my new hat for the yard with the veil that comes over, and that is a nice
Right.
sturdy brim that I could definitely like a skydiver here. Oh, here,
Yeah.
A
gimbal.
gimbal, that's it. Yeah,
I
now when
have
it comes
my
to like GoPro, I don't know. I don't think I've ever. I know you can go live with my phone, but I've never. I don't know how to do that with a camera.
well, yeah, I don't know either. I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah, I think there's
Yeah.
extensions.
Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Bluetooth, you can get about 35 feet.
Well,
They
my
do have
phone,
extended
like,
Bluetooth. I don't know what they get out to.
so when Charlie and I were on another chat, it was on Zoom, and I last fall I would go live on Zoom into my hives and do things. So I'm thinking it's gonna be something like that.
Something hands-free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the gimbal thing. When they were doing a commercial here for Toyota, this guy had
Oh
this
yeah.
thing backpack, and it had this big hoop with a string on it. And of course, he's got a $40,000 camera on this thing, moving it
Mm-mm.
around, and what because
I'm
it
gonna
Wow.
get two of those. I'm gonna get
uh,
two of those. I'm gonna get
mhm.
two.
And he couldn't walk around without it bouncing and all that kind of stuff.
There you go. See all these ideas? I knew I just had to throw it out there to you guys and
Yeah,
everybody come up with all kinds of cool stuff. Now there's Dodd House. Hey Dodd.
God.
Yeah, it's probably the chest thing is from GoPro, but I don't know how to go live with a GoPro. All I know how to do is film.
I don't know, Lee. Did they have my idea?
Now, what Lee was talking about is when they were shooting that one thing. I said, "Well, here's Lee's next camera right here." And all.
Well, so the other thing is, okay, so if I'm just going to go live on the YouTube in my hives, why wouldn't I just use my phone?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I would just use, so the mount that I'm talking about would be for my phone more so than a camera.
That's what actually Ian does all the time. He uses his phone all the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I would rather do that than make videos because I don't have editing programs. I don't have the patience for all that. So I think what I'm just going to use my phone, go live on my phone like I did on those Friday night chats, Charlie.
You can do that, and then I like the shorts I put up. Those shorts are made on my phone.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Now
mine.
yeah.
the shorts. Now YouTube has shorts where you set the button on there for 3 minutes, and I'm like, well, I
Right.
don't want to shoot for 3 minutes. Then I got to thinking about, well, wait a minute, I can shoot the length I want, and then I can hit stop, and I got the video all I want. I figured Bill was out there
Mhm.
pushing snow or ice.
Hey, Bill.
He can't hear you. He's got to get his ears on.
Yeah. He's plugging in. You don't have it connected yet.
I need to get a new selfie stick for my phone, for my new phone.
Oh, it doesn't fit.
Well, the one I got, I've got it designed. I've got it with connections on it for my GoPro. And then I was
Hmm.
watching the guy down there at Nobby, and he had his phone on there, and I'd seen something sticking out there. Well, what it is, Rode's come out with a thing where you connect it into the bottom end of your phone, which is a wireless microphone system, and you can
Mm.
do a live. You can go live and talk, and they can hear you. The main thing about videography is that they might have a crappy picture, but if you don't have good sound, people turn you off.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so
Right.
definitely.
got to have
Well,
good
yeah,
sound.
then I would get probably one of those caterpillar mics or something, those little black mics that look like caterpillars. But if my phone is right here, where
That
my
you,
where
you
my
can, if you got your phone
visual
up there
in
like that, your
I think
voice
it
is
should be, yeah, it should be fine. And my backyard is kind of landlocked. There's nobody can be back there. If you're back in my yard, you went to great lengths to get there and you don't belong there. But so it's quiet as far as me making a video or being live. It'll be nice. There won't be much background noise at all. Now I do live next to a farm. So if a farm equipment goes by, I mean that's what it is. So
That's
what's Lee
funny you
saying
mentioned
here?
that, Nancy. Where I live back in a private drive, the police or the fire department will come back and say, I lived in this area for 30 years. I didn't even know this was back here.
Yep. Well, that's kind of like my property. I'm in a neighborhood with 10 houses, and the other properties are like quarter acres, and we have 2 acres. People have no idea this is back behind here. My house sits up by the road, kind of, and
Lock it.
no one really knows this is here, which is
Right.
perfect. It's a absolute perfect place for an apiary.
Yeah, that's a good thing, though.
Oh, Philip is on. Hey, Philip. Philip Morris, RTX Honeybees, in the great state of Texas.
DC's thinking like I'm thinking. My entrance, I got a garage door at 10 foot high, but I got an entrance door, but it's on the other side of the barn. So I need to put one on the near side where the hives are.
So you're gonna build you. I thought you were just building a lean-to. You're gonna build a whole like 3-season room or something, or what?
Well, it's gonna be a lean at first, but I might close up the two sides off. The front will be open. I don't know yet. I gotta
Well,
get the
think
roof.
about airflow. Think about airflow. Don't block your airflow.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You know.
So it's definitely a lean and overhang it over the hives.
Yeah, start with that, and then you can
Yeah,
always embellish from there. But
yeah, it's 8 feet between the hives and the barn. So I could build, get 10 foot joists and hang it over 2 feet.
So why do you want to cover your hives up?
So better survivability. Plus, I can work on them when it's raining. I can work on it when it's snowing.
A better hive, better beetle population.
No, that's a
there's
myth.
Brad. Hi, Brad.
That's a myth. If you don't have them in the woods, you don't get beetles.
That's
Sun
right.
or
Direct
shade.
sunlight is fine, but
Mark. Hi,
My
Mark.
hives won't
Mark's
get
here.
hot. My hive, and then in the wintertime, bees won't get as warm, so they won't be flying as often. So it's a win-win, both winter and summer.
okay.
Hmm.
I don't want those 40-degree days and the sun shining on the bees. So it warms that hive up to 50 degrees, and then they go flying. If it's 40 degrees out, I want that my environment at my bees box is 40 degrees.
I can take. Hi, Mark. I can have 6 guys on, or 6 folks on here at a time. So if somebody else wants to come in,
Hey,
that's your
Brad.
invite.
Which way does the sun hit your hives, Tom?
They don't get to the hives until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So,
So does the sun come up over the back of your barn or in front of your barn?
yeah, the front of the barn. Yeah, over the back of the barn for my picture. Yeah. Looking straight
So the sun's coming
that
over the
way
back
to
of the
south.
barn, over towards your hives.
Yeah,
Right.
so I want to build it over the hives.
You know, like with mine, the sun hits them in the morning and 4:30 afternoon. The sun's behind the barn. Then I've got a shade situation where it's hard for
Yeah.
me to see, and the bees are they're coming in for the night.
Right. Mine's just the opposite. I get shade in the morning, but once that sun gets up, um, they get full sun. Usually
Hey
around
Ryan.
11 o'clock, 12
Hey,
o'clock
Ryan.
on.
Hey Ryan
Clay. I didn't say hi to Clay yet. Hi, Clay.
Is Ryan.
and Brad.
Yeah.
Clay.
And
Mark.
Bob. Woohoo!
Bob's on now too.
Yeah.
Oh
Didn't see
my.
him before.
Well, were you
You got a
pushing
good
snow,
crew
Bill?
today.
Pushing snow
So
today,
Tom, you
Bill?
have to make some videos about your plans and your construction there.
I plan on it.
Keep us in the know.
I have the 4x4s that's going to be holding the roof up from leftover from other projects. I got all the joist hangers, so I got that. I got some of it, the materials.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't ever watch bee chats either. I just watch bee people.
Just yakking. Oh, I'm so I almost can't stand it anymore. February. It's what, the 12th? I'm at my breaking
Gosh,
point.
we got winter coming this next week. There's 3 days we're going to be in single digits. the
Really?
lows, and highs only in the 20s.
Really?
Yeah,
I gotta run
starting
south.
Sunday,
I gotta find
8
somebody to work
degrees.
for, like down south, like works marking queens or cutting, I don't know, clipping queen, doing something in February and March.
I want to do some wax dipping, but I'm not gonna be able to do that until at least March.
Hey,
I
Randy.
look the next 10 days. There's
You ought to be able
nothing
to do it in
between.
the barn. You ought
I
to be able
hope
to do it in the
so, because
barn,
I need to
Tom.
start putting double boxes on and stuff like that on my singles. But I don't see any decent days above 35 degrees in it till till next month. And our
There's Philip.
long day
Is
forecast
that Philip? Who is that
Yeah,
guy?
he's got that stocking
Who
cap
is
pulled
that guy
down. It must be cold.
got that
It's
beanie
cold.
on.
with his little
It,
beanie on?
it's 37
No,
degrees and I'm freezing here.
I
Yeah,
recognize the shop. So whoever it is in Philip's shop.
I don't work in my shop if it's 37 degrees.
It's
I
supposed to be
used to,
20. It's going to be 25
not
overnight.
anymore.
Shoo!
I got
That's
smarter
good
as
for
I got
you.
older.
Hey, how do you want me to get those rubber caps to you?
Oh shoot! I keep forgetting. I was going to go on your. Are they on your website? I got to go on and pay you for them.
No, just text me at the phone number that's on the website, the store phone,
Uh huh.
and your email address, and I'll send you an invoice.
Okay. All right.
All
I'll do
right.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Keep reminding me.
Randy,
I'm having senior moments a lot lately.
You and me both.
I am a senior. I'm always at the moment.
Aren't we all?
Oh man. Yeah.
We got snow here yesterday, and I mean, Charlie asked me a while ago if I was pushing snow, and no, it really wasn't enough to push. We only got a
They
couple
said it was
inches.
getting up to 40 today, so I knew it would melt.
Yeah, it's
I
supposed to be
I
in the
let Mother
50s here
Nature melt
tomorrow.
it.
It's supposed to be in the
Yeah.
50s here tomorrow, and then it's supposed to rain all day Saturday. And it's supposed to be in the, hang on a second, I'll tell you, it's in the 40s on Saturday. And tomorrow it's supposed to be 53, and Friday it's supposed to be in the 40s and sunny.
Wow, you're a lot better than us, Bill.
Yeah, all that snow will be gone by Friday afternoon.
Saturday, we're supposed to get inches of rain.
Mm.
oh, that's not good if you have a pack of snow on the to start with.
Well, it's kind of, most of it will be melted tonight.
Yeah.
Flooding. I don't know what we're
But
supposed to get up
flooding.
to. I know it's
Are you near Carlisle?
51 tomorrow in the afternoon. It's supposed to get up to 51 up here.
Wow.
Way warmer than it is here, or going to be here. But it's supposed to shoot up on Friday to like 70, and then it's going to drop all the way back down to like low 30s on Sunday.
See,
It's up and down.
that is rough on any living creature, whether it
Tell
be
me
bees
about it.
or us. Sunday rain and 57. 57, so on Sunday, but rain.
Our high
And then down to
tomorrow is 30.
29.
Our high tomorrow is 32.
Oh wow!
Friday,
Oh,
37. Sunday, 46, but rain. Then 36, 25, 32, 31, 29. So there's nothing good. That gets me all the way to the 21st.
Wow.
Yeah, low of 8, low of 9, low of 11, low of 10 this coming week.
10-4.
CB talk.
Yeah.
10-4,
Yeah,
good
10-4.
buddy. Copy that. As my prison days. So Bill, I know you were mentioning a little bit about Nosema?
Nosema
Was
serrano.
it right? So I
There's
wanted
two
to
types
ask
of
you. So
there's two types of
mhm,
Nosema. Nosema
yes, go for it.
serrano and Nosema apis. Nosema
Hmm.
serrano is the worst of the two. It affects the gut of the honeybee. The parasite itself almost destroys the gut because it is a parasite.
So then I think about NTN Taranoff up there in up in the Yukon. He found some of that a couple years back in his
Hmm.
colonies. So I'm curious if what he would think of that with this dilemma with these commercial guys, the pollinators out there. I wonder what his thoughts would be.
I don't know, but I'll say this: what really brings the serrano on is high periods of stress, poor feeding, and poor diet,
Hmm.
and just generally not taking care of the bees.
Well, the stress would definitely be the commercial guys taken out to
Yep,
almonds,
the
but
poor diet, the poor
it sounds
diet
like
as
they were
well.
but it sounds like they were dead. They were finding the dead outs when they were getting them ready to go out.
Yeah, that's
And
how
I
I read it, Bill. They were finding it when they were putting them on the trucks, checking
yeah.
them.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a while for you to really notice this. It
Hmm.
doesn't, it seems like it's a sudden onset, but it's not. It takes, several weeks, maybe a couple of months for it to really build up in the hive to where it kill the hive. And
Spell Nosema.
and
Spell no
Nosema. Serrano is
okay.
Have you,
Cerano.
so have you looked at Jason Crispin's video that he put out?
Did he put that out today? Because there was one put out today. I think it was by Blake Shook that really didn't have any more information in it than
That
what
was, yeah, Blake,
he had put
Blake
out
put that
before.
out. Yeah, Blake put that out, but Jason Crispin, he's been on YouTube a long time up there in
Yeah.
central Ohio. And he's found some information on the internet that, the bird flu can go into with bees for what they say. And he's wondering whether maybe that's the problem.
I agree with DC. No, it's not bird flu. I can't see the bird flu infecting a honeybee. I mean, it's a
Well, I
totally.
guess what I'm saying is that he looked up some different papers, I guess you'd call them. You have to
And I
watch the
heard
video.
I heard there wasn't even any bird flu. If you got 1,000 birds, you always got one or two sick, and they were finding one or two sick birds and then killing all of them because
Yeah.
they had bird flu, not even testing them.
So now this is stuff I'm just finding on the internet. This is not people we know. This isn't research from guys that we know. This is just I'm just Googling it and looking at the pictures more or less.
I'll put my money on anything. It's chemicals, some chemical.
In a way, I'd agree with you, Tom, but they're not finding any signs of it being a herbicide, a pesticide, or anything like that because they're not saying anything about what the bee looks like.
I know. Well, there's not been good information yet.
Yeah, I know, because um,
Could have brought maybe some pollen they got into prior to going into winter.
yeah, it could
That's what
be.
I'm thinking. Yeah, or bad nectar or bad pollen with chemicals in it. I don't know if all these came out of just Florida, if they came out of Georgia,
Fungal
it's
spore.
all in the general same region,
So it's
or is
about
it
fungal.
across the board everywhere?
Can you guys see my screen?
Can't read it, but I
Yeah.
can see it.
I can
Oh,
see
you
it, but I can't read it.
Hold on. Put your binoculars on. Now can you read it?
Yeah, I
A little
can.
bit.
My glasses on.
Hold on, I'll go a little more. Go a little more.
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
I don't want to lose
That's
the
even better.
I don't want to lose the integrity. So it's a fungal spore
Yep.
ingested by adult bees.
And the infections are the result of heavy parasite load. I'm
Yeah,
reading a paper.
maybe they got some moldy or where's these spores? What plant does these spores come from? Do we have any? Is there anything information on that?
It's not saying.
Well,
Okay, hold on
the,
here.
the
So I have
paper
some
that
tabs.
Jay Evans
Here we go.
wrote along with Ryan Swartz in 2011, Trends in Microbiology. That they're saying both of which have received extensive attention. Nosema apis and Nosema serrano as an obligate intercellular parasites. So it is a parasite within the bee. The microsporidia invade epithelial cells of the adult mid-gut and undergo repeated cell divisions and ultimately produce new infection spores. These infections are a result in heavy parasite loads. So in other words, the parasites that create this infection, the Nosema infection in the bees, and it affects the guts of the bees, that's what's causing all of this. And it comes from stress. And in 2011, it looks like there was a large bee loss as well, because he references the recent large bee loss, and this paper was written in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're probably in the water. They probably got some.
Hi, Grayson. I didn't see. I was on that other page. I didn't see people coming in.
Maybe the hurricane that they had disturbed up some dirt, some flooding.
It's hard to tell.
I mean,
But
I would think
the question that USDA is going to have to answer ask is, number one, where did the majority of these bees come from?
right.
Did they come from Georgia, North Carolina, or did they come from somewhere closer to California, or where did they come from? Because then they can kind of narrow it down and rule out what it's not been found in North Carolina and Georgia, South Carolina and Georgia. They can rule that out, but we don't know because they're
it's
not releasing any information.
I don't think they have
Well,
the
remember,
information. They're
there
still
were two
compiling.
hurricanes, one that hit Florida and one that hit the Carolinas, Georgia, Carolinas.
And it affects the hind gut, not the honey gut, but the actual digestive gut of the bee is what it affects. It doesn't affect everything up front. It's just behind the honey gut.
Oh yeah, hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks, Mike.
I did.
I forget that. Yeah, so it makes you wonder about the environment and where some of this is getting stirred up or moving around from with these crazy storms we have.
Yeah.
What's it bringing with it? Where is
Right.
different things like that.
I don't think it's a case of the commercial beekeepers are neglecting their bees or anything like that. Don't get me wrong.
No.
But the movement of the bees is a huge stressor.
Yeah. Well, sure.
And then moving when they get to a new spot, they're expected to immediately go to work. When you stress honeybees out, it takes 2 to 3 days for them to get back to normal. Like if you have a hot hive, you pull honey. Everybody knows what they do when you pull honey.
Yeah.
They
Takes a
get
week.
super mad. And you can go out there the next day or two and they're all over you still.
Yeah, they're still mad.
Yeah, they're still mad. But that's what I'm saying. We need to know
Yeah.
where the majority of these bees came from to start
Right.
with, and then the USDA can come up with firmer answers. I'm sure they know what it is by now, as much testing as they've done over the past week. I'm sure they know.
Yeah, I agree, Bill. They just not putting it out. Or they have, nobody's reporting it.
I think they're afraid to put it out.
Yeah,
Hey,
it could
Sean.
be.
There's a new name. Sean Botrus.
Yeah, he's on.
Welcome.
Upper
Yeah, he's
Michigan.
been on
Well-
before.
Upper Michigan.
Well,
He was on
he's
last
new to
week.
me.
He was on your channel last week.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I stand
And then it
corrected.
was his birthday too.
Yeah, happy birthday.
And he was out at Nobby.
Let's see if.
Yeah.
uh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Nancy, you said you think of buying a camera. I'm thinking about buying a 3D printer.
Oh,
I
really?
start printing my little gadgets instead of me customly making them out of material. And just print them.
Yeah, but would something like that run you?
I don't know yet. I haven't looked. They're not cheap. I know that.
Well,
At
Andy
least
has,
what I think what I'm going to get.
Andy has a bunch of them, and Scott has a bunch of them. And I know some of them are named
Thanks,
called
Grayson.
bamboo. There's bamboo and something else.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
So Mark said the USDA wasn't testing. Is the wrong bunch testing. So is it they're the wrong ones to test, or am I incorrect in my statement?
I would say you're going to be sending the stuff all to the bee labs.
Yeah,
USDA
it's
wrong bunch testing is the wrong branch, wrong bunch. Two
so I
tests.
know they sent lab assistants out there to collect samples. I know that.
Yeah.
Wrong ones.
Yeah. I'm sure University of Georgia, Scott, Florida,
Yeah.
University of Florida probably is doing the testing.
Well, you got University of what is it, Washington? I think how many of labs are in the country? You
Well,
got
you
one
got
in
Auburn.
Maryland. You got one.
You got Auburn, you've got Georgia, you've got University of Florida, you've got Cornell, and you've got Michigan, and
Maryland,
Maryland, and Cal State
Washington.
Berkeley.
Got Washington.
I
Yep.
think Ohio State has it now. They've been getting big time involved in beekeeping.
Yep. And so is University of Montana.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's a lot. Someone's got to
Yeah.
figure it out from there. I mean, they're collecting data at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
it's not
haven't heard
affecting us,
anything.
the
But
hobbyists and the sideliners.
their statement of colony collapse disorder, there was a huge argument a few years ago about using that terminology
Mm-hmm.
without a definition of actually what it was.
Yeah.
So I don't
Hey,
know.
short pants. There's short pants.
The only thing I saw, somebody reported that over 283 commercial beekeepers are having this issue.
Yep.
So that's pretty many of them.
Yeah, that's a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't know how many commercial beekeepers there are in the United States.
I'm not sure either. Well,
I
let's
don't know
ask the
either.
question.
Yeah, I've never asked till now.
Well, there was that website that I had up there briefly was talking about how it can spread through an infected hive. So if they came home last year with it, if they came back with it, and then it, kind of
Mm,
grew, and then they
I
headed
would
back
think they
into
would
hit
know.
them in January, or the stress from last year, you know.
Well, Nancy, you bring up a good point because some of the bigger commercial guys, they ship their bees all summer long. So
Yeah,
they ship them out in January and they don't get them back until fall time.
yeah,
Yeah.
they run across the top, they go to the east, they go south, they go back up north. There's a whole
Right.
trail that they run, and if those hives are contaminated and they're running that trek, God forbid, don't be close to any of them,
And
or
they
we
could
will
have
start
got
seeing ours.
contaminated
Uh,
anywhere
according
in their
to
travels.
honey.com, which is on the interweb, and Department of Agriculture,
I know about
those
chemicals.
operating 300 or more colonies around 2,000,
Okay.
and they produce 60% of the honey in America.
Wow. I know about chemicals killing bees.
Oh
I got
yeah, I do
firsthand
too.
experience.
Yep.
Yeah. Michael's farmer's done a lot of testing with pollen and nectar now.
Yep.
And he's finding high numbers of chemicals in it. And he's testing all over the United States now, or U.S. wide.
Yeah, we got a local guy, a retired scientist guy, uh, Coates, his last name, and you can send him bees and he'll test them. I don't think he even charges. Don Coates. He likes looking at bees
Well, there's
through a
a
microscope.
YouTube video out that I just got alerted to. It's a bee collapse update. Boots on the ground in California with Blake Shook.
I think that's one he just stands there in the yard and doesn't really tell you anything.
Yeah, he's in the almond grove.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Blake Shook said they saw signs of problems back in August and September. Eh?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, now that as we're talking, I'm starting to think this isn't unique to we're just seeing it now. Who knows how long it's been brewing?
Yeah, you're seeing the results of what was brewing over the
Yes.
winter, the entire winter.
Yes. And Matt, that's on here, he put out a video today about condensing hives, but I haven't seen it yet. I've been too busy.
Who?
I haven't watched it. That's what
Who?
I run.
Who? Tom? Matt? Sandy
Who
Valley
has the
Hive?
video out, Tom?
Matt put a video out about
Matt, who?
Matt and Alyssa,
Sandy Valley.
Okay.
Sandy Valley. Yeah,
Okay, Matt, I got you. I hear
yeah,
you
he's
now.
on
Yeah.
here. He's on tonight.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's one of my regulars. Yeah, the condensing hives, they're great. I mean, I went to condensing my second year. but yeah, they're great. Now, the one thing I do want to caution about condensing hives that I've seen recently is running your entrances on the outside, like by the walls, putting your entrance on the far side. Condensing hives need their entrance in the center because condensing is just that. The moisture runs down the sides and out the front. So if I go out to my yard now, or they're a little dry right now, but when they start gearing up and they start sweating, we'll say, that moisture starts running, I'll see two little moisture releases out the sides of my front porch, on
Corners.
this either side of my
Yeah.
front porch.
Yep.
And with the freezing and thawing and freezing and thawing, if I had an entrance there, it would not be a good idea to have an entrance where that condensing hive, where the condensing is coming out, where your liquid's coming out. So you want to make sure your entrance is in the center when you're running condensing hives. It's my
Well,
2
Nancy,
cents.
I run that everywhere, but you're right. If I do see moisture, it'll be in the two front corners.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
running down your walls,
Right.
and the excess, they're
And
going to
there's-
take that and use it for what their needs, and then whatever they don't use will run out the front porch by the walls there.
Right.
Depending on whether you got a screen bottom board or not.
No, I got screen bottom boards,
You got them closed
and
up.
mine. Yeah, I have a the white, the corrugated in, but it's still, so you still, when it runs down the
Yeah.
walls, it's still going to have a little bit of wood before it hits the screen.
Yeah.
And then I tilt mine up, even though there's screens. I still put them up, maybe, I don't know, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, so that it will run out.
See
But yeah, it
Clay's
doesn't make.
note.
Hmm?
I watched that video. He had a 4-way pallet hive. They had water within, I'd say, an inch, maybe 2 inches at the lowest, up to the top of the lid. And he
Mhm.
pulled it out. He got it off the water. All 4 hives were still alive.
Yeah, I saw it too today. I watched it. I'd
It's
love to get him
amazing
on.
how resilient those bees can be.
Yep.
Good
Well,
thing
yeah.
they were glued together well.
So here, Tritons, all entrance should be in the center. Yes, but I am starting to see some people experiment with some of the bottom boards and creating entrances on both sides or one side. But they might be in environments where the condensing hive isn't an issue, or they're in warmer climates. But
Right.
if you're up here, in the Northeast, or you get some decent winters, you just want to be mindful of where your entrance is with a condensing hive. Yeah, yeah, like a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Jose needs them. He had floods a couple years ago. He had some hives flood. I think 2 years ago. So he definitely
Yeah,
needs it.
yeah, but
He
did
lost.
you watch? Did you catch Jose saying about how they have those big logs that come through, like trees,
Yeah.
branches that come off, and then they float and they hit if they have them on a rack or something, they hit them.
I don't know where that log. I guess it's the trees that are in the
Yeah.
things.
Creeks. The
My
rivers,
question
whatever.
is, they got all that flat
they're
ground.
yeah, they're in
and it doesn't.
orchards, so
They get it. They
yeah,
what gets me with that ground out there is that they get no rain. I guess it's baked to where it's almost as hard as concrete. And when they do get rain, it won't soak into the ground.
Right.
Right.
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There you go.
Seemed like
Oh,
to me
Grayson,
that
you know what?
they need to put some holding ponds in or something like that.
Now, see, here's Grayson. I put it up. Now, Grayson's down south, right? He's way down in Alabama, I want to say.
I think.
So I don't think I don't think the concept of a condensing hive would really
benefit them.
be yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it'd just be the cold climates.
Yeah. Yeah, dock those four-way pallets. Put a spike in the ground and dock them like DC's saying here.
Yeah,
They did that up here. They did come up with something up here up north. We had some real they were close to the water and they put them on some sort of pallet and then they had it, dug into the ground. The pallets would rise and fall just like a boat dock. And it seemed to be pretty effective. Now I don't know if it would be cost effective for a commercial guy to do that sort of thing.
Well, if the orchard would make like a bridge and put 4 barrels underneath of it with air in it, and then have a tether where they would raise up with the water,
Yeah,
and then have it
right.
to, wouldn't float away.
well,
Yeah.
yeah. Another thing, it's really flat there where those trees are. All I got to do is bring a dozer out and have a couple spots where the hives go, where they just push a little dirt to make it, a foot higher. Then it'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For some reason, he doesn't like putting his hives under the trees. And the only place he could find high ground is where the trees were.
It's called spray.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but do they spray once they got the bees there?
Mm-mm. I
No.
don't think so. I don't think they. Well, the other thing is his truck,
Wouldn't think they would.
truck, whatever he's using to move them in and out of, it's going to be, tearing up the trees. I would think that would be the main reason they
Yeah,
didn't
that
want them
could be
in.
it too. Right.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't have anything to build this year. I normally this last year and this year winter I didn't have any boxes to build or paint or frames to put together or nothing. I didn't have any beekeeping.
I
I
got
had
some
Sure.
frames you can
Coursework
build.
that I bought from Bill. No, did I buy that from Bill? I think I did. I don't know. Yeah, I
What's
think I
that?
did. That I had
What's
to
that?
that I had to assemble. And then I'm making these 5 bottoms. Actually, I'm making 6 of these new bottom boards. Langstroth 2.0 bottom boards,
Mm.
that I call it.
I got some
Out of my
frames you can put
21.
together, Nancy.
What's that?
You want to put some frames together for me?
Ugh, I don't know.
I need a couple thousand of them put together.
When I
You
sell
better get
newts,
busy, Bill.
Huh?
You better have a jig where you can do like
I,
20 at a time.
I do.
I got a jig
yeah,
to
when
do
I
10
sell
at a
newts,
time.
hmm, there's somebody else that needs frames. Should I go
Yeah.
into the frame building? I don't have a shed, so
There you
all the
go,
stuff that I
Bill.
do.
Acorn plastic frames, deeps.
Yep.
I know now, but you had a pretty good price on them.
Yep.
I think what I bought 250 of them or 5 boxes.
Yeah, I think that's what you bought.
Yeah. as soon as the weather breaks, they'll be going in this 12 of my 6 frame double deeps.
Yeah, I don't like plastic frames either. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because I started with wood and then had a couple plastics. Just oh, and
I'm
I
going
worked
with
for a guy.
plastic.
I worked for a guy that had about 200 hives and right all around Philly. And he ran all plastic, and I just didn't like him. I don't know.
Why?
I'm doing it to have less chemicals in the box because the wood is really porous, especially that pine wood. Well, the plastic won't absorb that chemicals near as much.
Hell, they
It
don't
is a
absorb
chemical.
anything.
Yeah, yeah, very very little.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons why I'm doing it, especially in the brood area. That's why I got deeps, plastics.
Oh, yeah, you need so I run I have a deep and a medium as my brood boxes, and they have black foundation. And then my supers are all medium with white foundation. So
Right.
uh I got a lot of like I sold towards the end of the year, I sold five. Well, it wasn't the end of the year, but it was July. I guess second or third week in July, I sold five nukes. So they bring 10 frames and I take five and give them five. So I got what, 25 deeps that have no home yet out there
Right.
because I didn't those nukes, whatever was left in that 8 frame, whether they were in 5 frames to begin with or pulled from an 8 frame, they just got combined with somebody else. It was too late in the year. Hey, Mark, look who's
Hey y'all,
here.
Hey, Mark.
Hey,
Mark.
it's show and tell time, y'all.
show and tell.
All right.
Show
Well,
and tell.
keep it PG.
Well, I don't know what that means. All right,
Parental guide. We'll give you some parental guidance.
she's a hoss.
Oh, hold on. Woo. Oh, let me click on them.
And it's still
Nice and
shiny.
shiny.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
About a 48. Is that their
Ooh,
48
that's
frame?
nice, Mark. That's nice.
it's a 32.
32. Okay.
Yeah, and that ain't all. Hold on.
Oh, what else we got?
All right, I got a bunch of Bob Benny lids,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
and I got a
Oh,
three-way mating nuke
uh,
from my buddy Brian from Flower Street Farms as a gift. Thank you,
oh.
Brian. I appreciate it.
It's nice of him.
Yeah.
It's a Brian's a good guy, y'all.
Oh, yes.
Yes, he
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is.
he's
had a
on. Hey, Brian. I didn't know he was on.
Me
Keith's
either.
on. Hi,
Oh, yeah.
Keith.
I see
Keith's
him
here
now.
with his new dog. His new dog, Blue.
so we had fun.
Well,
Yeah.
good.
I set my Man Lakes 3 ways up today. No bees in them, but they're out in the yard.
Did you get them painted?
They've been painted, and I actually put a lid on top of their lids, a telescoping lid.
So,
I got a
so you
couple.
liked it out there, Mark? You liked that conference out there in Missouri, right? Missouri, Eastern Missouri?
It was really nice. I like the way they had it all set up. Yeah, motels clean, nice.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Yeah, it was set up great.
First class.
Nice.
Yep. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, I
somebody.
wanted to go, but I couldn't make it.
Yeah, I think it was Ryan
That's
from Peabody was talking about going to the expo and cost and all of that. And it's about well, I drove 2 years. I drove, and then 2 years I flew. Um, and it's about the same. It's about $1,000, $1,200 to go, including your ticket, your travel, all of that, because it's 10.5 hours to drive, and I can't do that in one shot. I could do the Tennessee in one shot. I mean, it got rough there towards the end, but I could still do it. But when it moved to Louisville, that's 10.5 hours. There's no way I'm doing 10.5 hours. So to stay overnight, the cost of staying over and then back on the road with gas, it was the same to fly. So you're looking at $1,000 to earmark for just travel and and he's coming from Maryland, so it's kind of the same. Charlie, me, him, it's all
right.
kind of the same cost.
Yeah, I got a nice run at him. 2 hours from Nabby, and I'm only 5.5 from St. Louis.
Yeah, that's
You
easy.
know,
Yeah, you could do that's like Pittsburgh for me. Yeah.
yeah,
And all the hotels down there at the expo, they're all going to have the same price. We're the only show in town.
right.
So I would I didn't get one. I heard him talking, but for the expo next year, um, I like the hotel I have because they put on a nice breakfast, like a nice hot breakfast. Meats, you're just bacon and sausages and stuff in your breakfast. So you're going to the expo with a full belly, so you don't have to really make those costly
And Nancy,
choices.
what were you in? What hotel were you in?
I was in True by Hilton. So
True,
it's
true.
it's
Yeah,
next to the hmm?
right.
Yeah,
I
next
picked
to
it up. Remember, I know where it's at.
next to the Crown. So
Crown
anybody,
was
like, I could walk to the Crown, or I could walk across the street to Charlie, and the Hamptons was right there. Like, we're all just clustered
right.
kind of all together. Or
I
no,
did
Charlie, I
not
think
like
I'm
the
wrong. I don't
Crown.
I'm up the street from y'all.
That's right. That's right. You aren't across. There's somebody else. There was another big hotel across, but they're all going to be relatively comparable. But if you can find one with a nice hot breakfast, that made the difference to me. That's why I chose that hotel again. It was nice and
Right.
clean and safe. You think about safety when you're a woman traveling, but so yeah.
I think about safety, and I'm a man traveling. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got your 44.
I got my hive
Yeah.
tool.
So yeah. Well, I mean, I throw a stone and I hit a beekeeper, so it is. I mean, it's safe in that way that pretty much everybody knows everybody. But yeah, and the hotel you're in is gonna have 99% of the people are gonna be part of the expo, so you're never
right.
lacking a ride anywhere or good conversation.
You know the Crown. They actually had two conferences going on down at the other end of the hotel. They had all the baseball managers, college baseball managers expo going on.
Yeah, the kids were coming in my hotel when we were leaving for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I talked to them a few times because I parked my car in the back part of the parking lot, and
oh yeah, Clay was out there in Missouri. I saw him on
yeah,
on one of the pictures. 12 hours. Ooh, see, I can't.
so it's worth
I'm
it.
not. There's long hauler.
Well, it's only 3 hours longer driving out there than it is driving to Nobby.
Well, I was stretched thin on the 9 hours. That was
That's
an
just a
hour and a half
day's
too
work.
long. Yeah. Well, Mark, there's a reason I wasn't a truck driver.
Mhm. Yeah, just a day's work. I've got to drive all the way to St. Joseph, Missouri tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, and the 2 years I drove to Tennessee, that last hour and a half was snow in the windshield, and so that didn't help matters either. 2 years in a row it was like that. I'm like, dang, I don't know why it was like that, but
Didn't Missouri get a pretty good snowstorm today?
You're muted,
Mark?
Phil. What's that, Tom?
oh,
I think they got a pretty big snowstorm today. Missouri
Yeah,
did.
I hope they got the roads clear when I get up there in the morning. We'll see.
Yep. Yep. Because we were all rain. I think they were all snow.
there you go, Philip. I can't unmute you, Philip. I thought I could. I can't.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can hear me with these earbuds. The microphone's not the best.
You're all right.
Yeah, we can hear
What are you
you.
doing? Putting handles on your boxes?
Yeah, I'm just building boxes. That one's upside down. Yeah, it is.
Is them
Yeah,
plywood?
I just nailed some blocks. Yeah, it's free plywood.
Go.
Yeah.
They gave me a whole bunch of it, so I'm using it. And I sometimes I started out buying plywood, CDX or RD, it's called RDL, something like that. But yeah, what I
Down in
just made
Houston.
now with these tall ones. But
Bring
it's
them
been
over here
raining
and
for
I'll
2
put some
days.
bees in them.
That's why I'm trying to get them done so I can get my bees in them. I'm only about halfway through with what I need to build this year. I want to build oh gosh, 30 deeps and probably 40 mediums.
Are they Texas deeps?
No, I hadn't built any of those yet. Regular deeps, but I do want to build probably 3 or 4 of those Texas deeps, so I can split into them. But yeah, I had a plan this last weekend. I was going to go put double deeps on everything and try to pull up some brood, but then I realized I didn't have enough empty mediums to put the feeders on top of them. So I just did a few. I didn't do very many. I feed with a old 2-quart can that goes inside of a medium feeder shim.
Okay.
Now, do you cut the shelf out on the inside or do you just inlay another piece of wood in there?
No, I cut it out.
Okay.
And I
I like the way you got it divided.
I
Yeah,
put a rabbit so I can do 2 nukes in there.
yeah.
Right. I see that.
Just about everything that I do now, because I catch so many swarms, I do with the ability to do a double nuke, so I can maybe get a little honey off those swarms. I get 2 of them in there.
Yeah, it worked.
What I have to do, what I have to do though is, I'm doing some 6 framers.
Swarms.
I'm doing 6 framers with a divider so I can do mating nukes out of them. 3 frame mating nukes out of them. But if I don't separate mine after the honey flow, that one side will take over the other. So I have to be careful at the end of the honey flow, I have to pull a split on every one of them, or they're going to end up with 1 queen anyway. That's what happened 2 years ago. Last year, I went ahead and split them apart, and I guess it was right around the 1st of July into June, and almost all of them were okay. But the year before, I had 9 of them, and 7 of them had gone queenless on one side because I let them go through the dirt like that.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll just leave 1 queen in that mating box and just leave it there all winter. and just overwinter in it. And then I'll come back in spring, and hive them, and then get my mating box back.
Right. Yeah, I've got three-way mating nukes, but I don't know if I'll build any more of those or not. I like them, but this works just about as well.
Yeah, it works great.
It works good.
Yeah.
I got
But
plenty
yeah,
of mating nukes. I just got to get bees in them.
yeah, I wish I had one of my bottom boards. Might go out and get one and show it to you. Let me see. I'm gonna run out and grab a bottom board. Show you what I do.
Yeah, I need to do put a little chair and desk in my barn, so I can do my YouTubing out there. And if I want to
Mm-hmm.
see my bottom boards that I'm building, I can show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in my office room in the house.
Yeah, it's I don't like just sitting here looking at the screen. I mean, it's nice to be able to be in your shop or in with the bees or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, DC says here he likes, so that's kind of where I'm at with my equipment in my yard. Woodenware, it's got to serve at least two purposes, or it's got to be able to stay with the hive. So I have I have a lot of outdoor space, but I have really very little to no indoor space. So I got to be able to have a couple purposes for anything new that I buy. It's got to. Oh, okay, there we go. Here, hold on. Let me
There you go.
make you bigger.
All right,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
see here. Yeah, it's
Yeah, we can see it. Mm-hmm.
got a screen bottom board with a
Yep.
slide
Yep.
out counting board.
That'll work
Looks like
perfect.
it's close.
Oh, look at
And
that.
then
It's got a little, the back end lifts up. Did you build that in? Let me see the back of the bottom there. Is it, did you
Right
build a
here?
little wedge
It's
in the bottom?
it's not really a wedge. There's just a little shelf in there, a little
There you
runner that it sits on
Well,
like
to
that. And
lift
then
up
this,
the back end. To lift up the back end a little bit is what I was thinking. Like to, let it run out.
well, I don't know. It's all screen, so there's nowhere for the water to go on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the
Okay.
water runs down, it's
Yeah.
gonna go. You know, it's gonna go through
Yeah,
the
my
screen, and of
screens
course
don't
it'll get on
run.
the.
My screens don't run right to the side walls like that. There's about 2 inches of solid on mine.
And this is my inner cover, so it's got a divider in it too.
Right.
And then I take the plugs. Of course, this has been sitting out in the rain, so they're swelled up. But I take their plugs and I glue a piece of glue on top of the plugs so I can plug them up if I don't want the bees to cross over if I have feeders on them or something. But,
Hi, Sarah.
and there came the rain took care of that one for me. It broke.
I like that idea. Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's an
You
engineering
Yeah,
look
work
good,
there.
Philip. Look good.
I just do a 3/8 inch divider, 9 5/8 inch deep that goes top to bottom. But yeah, that's it. That's my system.
Nice.
Nice.
Philip, you're a fart smeller. I mean, a smart feller.
That too. That too.
Carpenter Philip.
Oh man. Yep. I'm falling behind though. I
Yeah, it's
gotta
getting
keep
closer
going.
to time for you, ain't it?
It sure is.
Y'all had a lot of rain down there.
Yeah, the last 2 days it's been raining a lot and it's getting cold again.
Get ready
but,
when
Now
it
I need to
warms
buy a
up.
3D printer.
Everything's gonna bloom at one time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
bamboo
My
three
phone.
door three
Yeah.
3D printer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go inside and get on the computer, Nancy. My phone just told me it's got 5% battery on it. So I think I'm
All
through in
right.
here for tonight anyway. But I might want to get out and get somebody else a chance. You can only hold 6, right?
Yeah, but no one's knocking at the door to get in, so
Okay.
you're all right.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I got Wi-Fi in my barn.
I have to turn mine off. It's the Wi-Fi is not in the barn; it's in the house, and it always kind of wants to go back and forth, so it doesn't work very good.
Well, I got it set up where it bridges back and forth automatically. I don't even know it when I switch from my house to the barn.
I like that bamboo. What'd you say it was bamboo 3D printing or
Yeah,
not the plastic? Hmm?
not the plastic, bamboo
Yeah,
option.
that seems
They're
very
about they're
interesting to me.
about they're 2 to 3 grand.
All right, well you buy one and tell me how
23
how great it is.
I saw one at 2,300, 2,400.
I got 40,000 wrapped up in my new camera, remember? So I'm broke at
Yeah,
the moment. I'll see if my sponsor. I'll maybe see if my sponsor can help out with that 40 grand.
You want to
Yeah,
see if I can
right.
get you a raise, Nancy?
I have a
I
sponsor.
know a guy. Yeah.
I bet you do.
okay. I agree, DC. Beekeepers do need a barn or a big shed.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you
When I
don't ever
built
have
my
enough
barn, I
room.
didn't know it's going to be a beekeeping barn.
Yep.
Mine's 40 by 26, and I filled it last spring with beekeeping equipment. It's still half full.
Yeah, mine's
They're never big
32
enough,
by.
Bill.
I know.
Hey Roy,
This one here is
you
32 by 50, and I still ain't got
guys are
enough room.
sneaking in on me here. I didn't see Roy come in
Yeah.
either. And Sarah, there was a Sarah back there. Welcome, Sarah. I don't remember seeing your name before. And we
One
need
thing
more
good, if I
sheep.
build that lean, I can store all my honey supers outside.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have
Yep.
brood in my supers. So I don't have to bring those in. I can just leave them right there by the big hives just behind them.
I think you want the sun to get in them. Don't you want the sun? You either want the sun being able to go through them or to be freezing.
Just airflow. Plus, it's freezing all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you'll
And
get to there in the winter, but in the meantime, like I have to run mine through the freezer. One, I bought the freezer for that purpose, but I can't take them off the hive and let them sit outside. I did. There was a couple years where I did stack my supers frames in and I put a queen excluder on one end, queen excluder on the other, and then I ratchet strapped like 6 or 7 of them together and then tilted them to the west so they had airflow coming through. But that was one year I could do that. Then I bought 33 more supers. So
I'll
just
have them standing up so the frames are stacked up high, and there'll be 4 or 5 inches between each one. So if airflow goes through there, and if there's no pollen or no brood in it, nothing will touch them.
yeah.
They need to have pollen
Okay.
or brood come.
There you go. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, I try to go
Yeah.
through all my honey
I got a
supers
little
every
sheep
year.
groupie.
Get rid of them ones that's got pollen and use them for something else.
Yeah.
Because if they got pollen in them,
Scrape
it's
them.
not gonna hold much honey.
No, it didn't.
Just use it on brood. Be done with it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't mix mine. I use queen excluders.
Yeah. I like to keep
Because
mine
again, there's
clean.
how do you keep your queen out of your supers, Mark?
I use queen excluder.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I've got medium honey supers, deep brood boxes.
Yep.
Mhm.
So it's, I just try to keep mine as clean as possible.
Yep.
I blow all my boxes out with air hose. Any spider webs, anything gets in them, clean them up, get them nice and clean.
Mhm.
It shows after 10 years too. You can tell 10, 15 years they start looking rough if you don't take care of them.
I've sold some of mine off when I start getting too many. I'll sell off drawn super comb. I'll sell them off, and then I'll let mine pull out fresh. That's how I rotate, and then I rotate my deeps out through selling nukes and sets and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
once I learned how to feed in spring, I learned how to do that trickle feed with that real thin syrup right before, a good 2 weeks before the nectar starts. But once I learned that in my yard, I figured that out. There's no stopping them pulling fresh comb for my supers. Now you remember I'm only running like 30 hives, so it's a little different when you're small.
Yeah, you can accomplish more tasks for sure.
Yeah, I can be a little more detailed, a little more um, a little more hands-on, I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
about
can't
what I
do more than
run,
50.
Nancy.
Yeah, I can't
I
do
run
more than
about
50. That's my limit for forage. I can only do 50 here. 50 is my max. So I like to keep it at 40. I mean, if I when I'm gearing up, I like to keep it at 40 and then go into winter with 20, 25, 30. 30 I have already, but I think I went into winter one year with 37. That was a lot of work.
I run about up to 29, 25 to 29 honey 10 framers. But then I also run 12 double 6 framers plus 6 resource hives plus 12 8 frame nukes. So that keeps me busy. I don't know how many hives that is.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's
But the
I
nukes,
don't
the
I don't
6 framers and the nukes keeps me busy. The honey hives, I just have to put boxes on them.
yeah.
You're going from one
I
full-time job to another one, Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
why I'm
me, Tom.
retiring, so I can do
I
those 2 full-time jobs.
When I get in the hives, I just go and go and go until I get done, and I'm done. Well, I don't finish, but until my body gets done and I'm done,
yeah,
I'm going somewhere to sit
Yeah,
down. Done for the
yeah.
day. I don't care.
right. That's how I am.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll get through 5 hives. Sometimes I get through 20 of them.
Yep,
Well, it all depends.
yep. Life happens.
Yeah, it does.
You do what you can do,
Yeah,
and that's all you can do. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
kill
I go
myself.
through 20 and I go, damn, I got through all 20 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
To
You
the
get to
whole
the end,
road.
you're like, wait, oh, I already did. Oh wow, I'm done. And there's
Yeah.
still daylight.
And other times
Yeah,
I'll do about 5 of them and I'm done.
Yep.
7 of them.
Yeah, when it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's when it happens.
Yep.
That's the only reason why I want to put a lead. Then I'll be in the shade. I'll be able to do more. And my 12 framers are all behind my barn, so they're in the shade. They're in the shade except for the first 2 hours in the morning when the sun's coming up the east.
Mm-hmm.
So those are nice to work during the middle of the day. Plus, I'm on the top of a big mountain right here. Well, it's not really a mountain, but it's 60 feet down, 100 feet down to my house. So there's always a breeze coming up that hill.
Mm-hmm.
Someday I should show you how steep my yard is.
Yeah, mine's pretty steep too. Mine goes down from the house. And you
Yeah,
can
so does
feel it
mine.
like
Well,
at at night when the sun sets, if I'm down at the back of the property and I can feel the when I'm running back up to the house, you can feel the temperature change.
oh yeah.
You know, it's colder down at the bottom of the back than it is up at the house. You can really feel it.
My backyard valley runs down to another valley that runs to the Ohio River. And in the
Mm,
springtime, I'll get the Ohio River fog just come right up, all the way up to my backyard, my neighbor's backyard, and then it stops.
Huh.
And it's
mm.
like, it's a huge difference when that fog comes through. My front yard
Yeah.
will be
Oh
sunny,
yeah.
my backyard will be foggy.
Yep, yep. I see that too here. Yeah, it's neat.
It's
It's creepy
what a weird
sometimes.
difference.
Yeah. Looks like we lost Mark.
Yeah.
And Philip's battery went dead.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's what? A little after eight.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to go on the others YouTube or not.
Oh, is there another tonight? I didn't even look. Is there an other?
I think they have one tonight.
Stream team. Well, Bruce was on earlier.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
Bruce
they
was
don't
on.
have one.
No, I said James said here he's gonna try and win an Instavap on the stream team. And giving away
We're going
Rob.
144 people watching.
Oh, there's your chance. 1 in 144. I should get Robbie. I should get Robbie to come on and give away a Instavap. He's a
Peabody's
nice kid,
on.
man. I met him a couple years ago now, and I'll tell you, he's a nice kid.
Lisa's on.
That Robbie. Answer his phone every time I called. And I had some issues back when I first got it. I had some issues that battery. It was new, battery operated. I almost sold it. I was so pissed off, Charlie. Remember? So I'm selling this damn thing. I didn't throw it, so that's good. It has not been thrown, but Robbie answered the phone every time I called, man, and walked me
Yep.
through something.
Stream team does have a live tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
do they?
Yeah.
yeah, they're going right now.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll go over. Let's go over and say hi.
Well,
Yeah,
Nancy,
Oh,
I
you
we
just
need
can't go in. I was gonna say I'll sign on to I'll hop in onto there, but you can't. I hate that. You can't.
yeah.
yeah. I got them up on YouTube and I got you guys up on the StreamYard.
Rookies, right, Charlie? Rookies.
So, Charlie, please let Will know that the class is still a go for Saturday. And everybody on here that's coming, signed up to take the splits class on Saturday, it's still a go. So, all they're calling for is rain here Saturday.
Yeah, they're calling rain and maybe a little mix or something later at Saturday evening.
Yeah. But yeah, the snow we got here, it wasn't worth pushing, Charlie.
We got about 3 inches here last night, and I scraped the blacktop off, and then by lunchtime or thereafter, it got warm enough that it just pretty much melted.
Yeah.
Or actually, it was that kind of heavy wet snow.
Yeah. We got about 2 inches, and that was all we got. South of us, they got hammered pretty hard. So, but Nancy, you need to check your
Yep.
messages.
I kind of did. I kind
Okay.
of did, but I didn't get to. I haven't been able to respond.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
back. Oh, okay, Philip. I was just thinking about shutting it down. Kind of running out of things to say.
Well, we have to talk about it. We
Kind of,
just hang out.
not really. All right, we'll stay.
But yeah, I don't know. I pushed those aside. We didn't do anything today as far as mill work, and cleaned up
Yeah.
the road areas so they would melt, and they all did, which kept everything clean. And I guess that was about it.
I almost called you today, Charlie. I figured you were had a light day, but then I didn't.
Yeah, you text me done, so I forget what it was you talked about.
Yeah, I text you something. Oh, I did my homework. I did work to my dude class. Deep understanding. What is it called? Deep understanding
Drones.
drone education. Deep understanding of drone education. Maybe is that it? So I did that study and I read those research papers and did some quizzes, and I have another one to go. And Bill, I'm trying to figure out how to get those papers to you. Because when I download them through Chrome. I can't just put them into PDFs
You can't
and
print
like
them to
email them
PDF.
to you.
You can't print them to a PDF.
Well, I do print them. I do print them off on my
No,
printer.
I mean print them to your device as a PDF.
No, it's through a Chrome link through Penn State.
Well,
So I
just
can't like.
send me the link.
Yeah, but I think yeah. Well, okay, so we'll do. So I will send them to you. I'll email them to you and tell me if you can open them, because I
Okay.
think they're linked to my account through Penn State through the site that the class is through.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
print
I
the PDF.
mean, Lynn's with you on that class, and they were talking
Mhm.
about queen rearing or something like that, and she sent me a link. I can only view it on my phone because she texted to me, and I could hit that link and all that.
Yeah, so when I download these papers, these scientific papers, when I download them, yes, it's downloaded through PDF. However, I don't think I can send them back out. Like the queen
Oh,
class we
look at
could.
Andy. Andy
When I,
give you print to PDF. It says.
yes,
Yeah. Can
yes,
you
yes.
print the
I'm aware.
PDF?
No,
Yeah.
you're right. Yes. So I can do that. So I do that. However, if I go to send them to somebody else, I don't think they're going to be able to see it because it's actually linked through my account. You know, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll send it, but I don't know if the article will actually be sent.
Yeah. Just try one of them, Nancy. Don't send a bunch of them. Just try the one of them, and let's see if it
Yeah,
works.
but I've been meaning to tell you that. I've been meaning to tell you I'm gonna send them over and see if you can open them. It's
Okay.
not just so it's through an account with Penn State is how I get this. Now, when I did the Queen class, we could download it. It saved to my hard drive, and I could print it out or email it to somebody. This one isn't that easy. I think they put in some parameters.
It's
Yeah,
like the
Magnolia. It's
StreamYard. I can print the StreamYard to a PDF that we're on right now.
yeah. So I can print them to paper. I can print them to paper, and I can print them. It's a link on my hard drive. It's not like a regular.
Yeah, I can save as a
Yeah,
PDF.
right. Mine gets saved as a Chrome link.
Yeah, I've got some PDFs that are the same way. Excuse me.
Yeah. I don't know. Talk about something and I'll play with it here a little bit. See what I get.
Well, it'd be, let's see. The
Your device.
Ag Industrial stopped by today, Bill.
Oh, they did?
So we got a new machine coming in.
What do you got coming in?
I got it's a new Holland center pivot disc bind, 10-footer.
Oh, Lord.
Not, I didn't buy it. My son bought it.
Oh, Lord.
Charlie's toy that his son
Well,
bought.
you got another
Not my
toy.
toy. It's his toy.
It might as well be your toy, right?
I can run it
There you go.
Yeah.
as long as he's paying for it.
There you go.
What was yours was his, and now what's his is yours.
There
Isn't
you
that how
go.
it goes?
You might
Yeah.
say that because I gave him the equipment to use and, to more or less give it to him to take over the business. And
Yeah.
so now he's upgrading.
Hey, Bill, put your email in the chat.
Which email you want?
I don't think it didn't pop up. I don't
Private
think I had.
chat
I don't
or
think I ever.
private
Wherever you want me
chat?
to send these documents.
Oh, okay. It'll be in the private chat.
Oh, okay. Super squirrel. There we go. All right.
Yeah, start recording. Doesn't look like they're. Oh, pound vaporizer.
So I'm
They
now.
are doing a vaporizer or not?
Yep.
Which one are they doing?
I got it muted, so I don't know. I got it in the best mode.
Yeah, because you got Burns talking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that could be a while.
Yeah.
They're not going to
Yeah, he
auction
can
that off
talk.
till 10. Now, I don't get me wrong. I adore Burns.
Let me turn
So
up
I
the
sent
volume
it,
just a
Bill.
little bit.
Thank you.
See if you can open them.
How many people you got left on here?
Oh, yeah.
22. 22
Okay.
people don't need a vaporizer. No, you can do both.
Can you
You can
see
do
it?
Me too.
Uh-uh.
I can't
get 'em?
see it. You have to tilt it.
Oh, good, you got them. Oh, yippee-ki-yay. All
Yeah,
right,
I
that's
got 'em.
week 1. Anybody else wants them, you can have them. I'll send them to you. Just send your email. But
Send it
that's
to me,
week
Nancy.
1. You want them too?
Yeah, there's
Give me
two
Yeah.
your,
documents. Two documents,
My
right?
email's maccabees@maccabees.com.
Tom, what's your last name?
Wehner. Wehner.
Well, where does Maccabees come from? Mac.
I live in Mac, Ohio.
Oh. What? You laughed out loud.
So
I didn't know.
Mac
I didn't know, Tom. I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all right. It's only shoot. It's just a small little knob on the west side of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
I
Here
had
you
turned
go.
them
so
So
off.
I'm just gonna send
Maccabees.
you.
Yeah,
So
they came
email
on
is
my desktop too,
Maccabees.
MACK.
Yeah, ABs. Yeah,
A and then B's at
MACKABEES at
yeah at
maccabees.com.
Here's the catch.
So I just take the Perry part off. Just Mac A B's, all one word. My younger sister came up with that, Nancy. I said, you know what? That works.
Maccabees. But is it at Gmail at what?
At Maccabees.
Oh, so it's Tom.
No,
No,
it's
it's
Maccabees. Maccabees at maccabees.com. I own a domain name.
I gotcha.
So Tom,
I
when
own it.
when you download these things and go to open them,
Yeah.
it's going to kick you over to Lumen to be able to see the entire document. If you just try to open it with PDF, it's only going to show you the first 2 pages.
Okay.
See, I thought. See, it's they build in some sort of firewall or some sort of preventative that if you're not in the class,
Yeah, I've got the entire document now.
so you do have it now. Okay, good.
Yep.
Nancy,
Yeah,
I just tried to
Magnolia.
send it
I
to you,
get
but
all.
you blocked it.
It's 20
Yeah,
pages
Magnolia.
long.
Yeah. I get that. I get the whole thing. It's just it's coming from Penn State.
Yeah.
Sometimes they hang you up with sometimes it's through it's not just that simple anymore. They put in blocks and
Right.
Yeah.
but it looks like Bill got him. Bill, you did get him?
Yeah, I did.
And Tom, I did send him to you.
Okay, let me log on. My domain name. Yep, I got him.
Cool. Too many commercials over there. Oh, woo.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. So here's something else that's kind of cool with my dude class. They have a timer. So when it's time, when you get asked to talk or when somebody's presenting or whatever, they have a timer. And it's up in the corner and you get 5 minutes. And I would love to figure out now, I don't have that on my problem, but there are some chats where people will go a little long and that timer was neat. That timer's neat. Little music starts to play, like at the awards. So you gotta wrap up your thought and let somebody else have some input. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Which got the pressure on, all the pressure on. Looks like you break pressure on all the things. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the industry with bee laws, plus money.
Well, as far as bees go,
Mm-hmm.
I got into them Monday before another window of opportunity for me. Even though it was like around 41, it was quite, for some reason, it just felt really warm and the bees were flying. And I checked them all food source wise. And I would say pretty much all of them, the food, as far as sugar bricks goes, they were fine. But all of them needed a pollen patty. So.
Charlie, did you put one on already? Is this the second one?
What's that, pollen?
Yeah.
Second round, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I better check mine.
I had that. The patty normally comes 12 inches long, and I cut it in half and put a 6-inch piece in. It was gone in 7 days.
I better
See,
check
mine
mine.
were
There's 2 or 3 10 framers there that are I don't think they're going to make it. You know, at least a couple of them. There's still bees flying in and out of them when it's warm and all that stuff, but some of them are like super powerful, and some of them are like I had that one hive that I put the whole 12-inch piece in. They had ate at least over half of it in 7 days. So I took the paper off what was left, and I put another one in there, pretty much another whole one in there. And they were down a little bit on their bricks, so I went ahead and put a few bricks in. Some of them are eating the pollen powder mixed with the sugar. Most of them are really liking the white sugar by itself. What's your thing about that, Bill, as far as it with, you know, the sugar bricks being too hard and hard on their mouth parts or anything?
I've done a lot of reading on it, and if you feed dry sugar, it eventually becomes a sugar brick anyway because of the moisture it collects.
Yeah.
But
Right.
and the dry sugar sometimes is hard for them to digest without some liquid to go with it. So when we do sugar, we use dry sugar. We don't use a sugar brick because it does get hard, and it is hard for them to break a piece off. But you know, we don't use sugar bricks here. Now, there's people around here that do use the sugar bricks, and they love them. And the bees do eat them, but they do
it's like,
last them through the winter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like Ryan over there across the mountain. His thing was pollen powder mixed with sugar, and then he put some K-Rose syrup in there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more or less, it was kind of like mountain camp, but it was moist, and he just he grabbed it with his hand, but you could take a big old spoon and just drop it on there. Where he also said he ground it down to more like a powder form. Sure, I don't know how he did that, but he was putting it on there loose like that, where they could just go after it. Which really, you know, it's not a bad idea.
No,
just a bucket and just plop it on there.
Yeah.
I put on 2-3 pound sugar bricks, and by this time of year they're gone, or just small pieces left of them. So they seem to be able to eat it.
I mean, I've never used sugar bricks at all in my 54 years of being a beekeeper. I've never used sugar bricks.
Right.
We've always used dry sugar. Now, what Ryan's doing by mixing that pollen in there, if he's not mixing too much pollen in it, he's going to be okay. But as soon as he gets carried away with that pollen, now he stands a chance of starving his bees in the spring because it's too many mouths to feed.
Yeah.
So if you're going to mix pollen in the sugar brick or in the dry sugar or whatever, you got to be really, really, really careful with how much of it you use.
Right.
I tried that sugar brick with pollen in it, and it would never get hard, you know, and it was crumbly like what he was using.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that, like Dennis here said from Texas, they like the straight sugar better than the damn pollen powder mixed in it.
Yeah, because see, down in Texas, they can keep some liquid on the hive, depending upon the part of Texas you're from. You can keep some liquid on the hive, small amounts, so they have some liquid to be able to break that sugar down in their gut. But without the liquid, it's hard for them to break the dry sugar down.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the there you go. The Matt and Sandy Valley. Yeah, we see the same thing, Matt. We use a soft fondant and they will go right up through the middle of it and spread out from there.
They
So-
really go through his fondant. Man, I couldn't
Oh
believe it.
yeah,
Matt sold me on fondant. I'll be making some next year.
yeah. We use fondant here too, and it is the most effective winter feed that we have found.
Yes.
Yeah,
Much
I can
better
see
than
that.
just a sugar brick.
Yeah,
Sugar bricks, I think,
I
are
got
hard
some
on their
Hive Alive too,
proboscis.
and they're hitting that too, but I'll be making my own and
yeah.
buying it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't put mats on yet. I only have one bag because I was flying home, so I couldn't, take too much. But I don't want to do all that in my kitchen. Like I don't
Well,
want to. If I had an outdoor, I did see this big cauldron thing, but it was really rusty, because it was whatever. But I was thinking, man, if I could get one of them and make it outside.
yeah.
But I got a brand new kitchen, and I did make my second year of beekeeping. I made like invert sugar 250 pounds in my brand new kitchen. But I can't do that anymore. I have to have another place to do it, or just continue to buy the Hive Alive. I put Hive Alive on probably
You could get one of those burners that you put a turkey fryer on and set it
Yep.
outside and just keep it on
Yep.
low, and you can make it outside as long
Yeah,
as you have
yeah.
a candy thermometer. And what we
Yep.
do is we put a little bit of oil in it, a little bit of coconut oil, or a little bit of lemon oil, or a little bit of olive oil in it, and that's what makes it soft and sticky and consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, for what I'm running here, Hive Alive is just, I don't know. I like the Hive. I like using the Hive Alive.
I wanted to tell you I'm a strong microbials dealer now.
Dealer?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah,
know
that's good
that.
stuff, man.
Yep.
You're really expanding, Bill.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
So the strong microbials is coming out with a new product this spring called Super Nectar.
What is it?
And Super Nectar.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are collaborating with Apis on this.
Okay.
Out of a box.
Luckily, I used to be a beer brewer, so I got all kinds of stainless steel tanks.
There you go.
5-gallon ones, 10-gallon ones. I got burners. So when I build that lean, I'll be able to do it right underneath that lean.
Yeah.
Make my fondant.
Yeah, you could set a still up out there too.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
could brew
Brian.
more than fondant.
I'll do it while the bees are flying, and I'll have all kinds of bees going in.
Yeah.
Look at Brian. Brian has an internal sensor. I don't have any of those brood minders, but yeah, 70s to the 90s. I know mine are brewed typically right around Valentine's Day. Mine are putting out the heat.
Yep. And then now, like Charlie, this time of year, we'll stop feeding fondant, which the next thing goes on the hive is going to be pollen patties. Because I know
Well-
they want pollen because I've already put a pollen feeder out. So I know they're looking for it.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and I did put half a pad of pollen on, and then I looked a week later, and they hadn't consumed it all. They're working on it, but so I probably won't put more. I'll just let them go back up to that fondant. Like I'll let them pick what they want. Just because I put fondant on, I don't know if I'll keep fondant on per se. But I leave all three. I have sugar brick, I have pollen, and I have fondant on the hive now. They can pick what they want.
Dennis, yes, I use it.
Dennis, yeah, Charlie's a big Apis fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Apis.
Yeah.
Only problem is right now the Apis itself isn't shipping any. They've got everything listed as out of stock. So they did the last time I looked.
I wonder why. I wonder if they were anticipating
Tariffs.
tariffs.
Brain top strategies. Is that what we're talking about?
Brian, where are you at? Brian C. You're talking about
He's down
Pollen.
he's down in Memphis.
Memphis. Okay.
And Brian is the one that has the clear inner covers that I liked, and that's why I put them on.
Alabama, Southeast Alabama, I am going to do splits in 2 days. And today I went to the UPS store and what did I have?
Yep, it's still listed out of stock.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the sugar across the country, the sugar's pretty much the same. It's about $20 for a 25-pound bag. It varies by a couple cents, but people like I pay 19 something for a 25-pound bag. Guys in Texas pay about the same. But anybody's on here if you want to put in what you pay for a 25-pound bag, or if you get a 50-pound, do the math. But you want to put that in the chat. But usually sugar runs across the nation, from my experience, sugar runs about the same no matter where you're at.
I looked at Walmart,
The other
25.
day I found $16 for a 25-pound bag, and I bought all 3 bags. That's all they had. They had 10 bags. I would have bought 10 bags.
Yeah, I get 10 at a time.
Yeah, I checked Walmart here a week or so ago. I happened to see some bags, and it was pretty much $20 for 25 or $20. I think it was for 25
I have
pounds.
to go back and see if they got stock again.
Yeah.
They
Before
usually don't
COVID, it
have
used
the
to be
bags.
13. Before COVID, it was $13 for a 25-pound bag. Now it's 19 something. And it fluctuates, but I mean by a couple cents here or there, but I don't oh, Louis got my pencil. Hold on.
It was like
You know, my GFS, her plant's next to it.
So my goal, these queens right here are going to go towards splitting the bees in the south round and helping to do some famous queens a little bit feisty down there to be kind of improving the situation.
So what are they screaming about now, Charlie?
As soon as I can get some more.
What those guys?
Yeah.
Bruce is talking about some kind of bees that he got. He's going to use them to do some splits or something or another.
When 1 or 2 colonies are like that, then they begin to affect the others.
I'm typing in sugar right now.
It's really wild. It takes a while for them to
10-pound bags and a 4-pound bag. That's expensive.
Hive like that. Well, that's all like that.
Well, now it's $20. $19.99. Yep.
No, I've been working. I got my laptop up, Bill, and I wanted to. It was slow as a dog. I mean, terrible. And I wanted to bring my good camera here that I'm using right now down for my laptop to get me a better quality video for Friday.
Okay.
And
Because then we'll have 2 cameras set up here, and that's fine.
I guess that's how we'll do it. I don't know. I was just thinking. I got back from Toothaker. He said you see me then, and you said that'll be great. So,
The
But,
Golden Barrel has a 25-pound bag of sugar for $26.99, and
Ooh.
Walmart's is $19.97.
is that 20-pound bag at Walmart? Is that 25?
25-pound bag.
25 pounds.
Yeah, 1997. That's about what I seen in the grocery store.
And
Yeah,
then-
$19.99.
Yeah,
Gordon Foods was $19.99.
Domino
right now.
sugar at the restaurant store or Webstront store is $27.99.
West want. Say that quick 5 times.
And then Domino pure cane sugar in a 50-pound bag is $46.99.
Well, at the restaurant store here close to where I get it, if you're a member, which I have connections, 1 to 49, their 50-pound bags is $34.
Yeah.
Regular is $42.
Yeah. Depends on the type of account you have with them.
Well, I got a friend of mine. He's got an account, so I can go through him and get it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's $33.99. Might as well say $34.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, as far as the strong microbial stuff, I'm gonna be carrying the bee bites, the super nectar, the super DFM, and I'm gonna carry it in the commercial size as well as in the backyard beekeeper size. So
So I'm noticing that these guys like Hive Alive and somebody else is they're bringing out all this syrup. Oh, Hilco, they're bringing out all this syrup. And my thought on that is, I mean, I'm not the hobbyist. You know, I've got more than 2 hives, but I'm low other than 50. But is that really worth it? Like for me to I can mix up sugar in a 5-gallon bucket. What I do is I mix it up. Then the next day I mix it up if I'm doing syrup. Well, now I have a 25-gallon tank, but same thing. Put my sugar in, I mix it up, I let it sit overnight, pretty much dissolves. I put that all out. I do it again overnight, it dissolves. But the cost of sugar for me and making syrup, because I don't cook it, I don't heat it up. I just let it sit overnight. But I just don't think, would the hobbyist spend all that money for sugar water? I just don't see that as a smart marketing
not when you
move.
can go out here and get the powder to put in it, and
Yeah,
you
but
end up with
right,
the same
shipping
thing.
water is expensive, like Magnolia. So basically, all they're doing is they're shipping sugar water.
Yep,
I
that's all they're
mean,
doing.
I just am curious to see if those products will still be, if they're still going to be doing that in a
Well,
couple of years, because
the other side of it is this: unless they put a preservative in it, it's fermenting starting to ferment after 7 days.
well, I got those 2 buckets from Hilco, and I'm curious to see. I put them in the garage. They've been in there since January. What are they going to look like I might trickle feed a little bit of that, but I'm really just thinking that's for fall.
I'd be opening them up and see what they look like. Or I would be very careful with them when you do open them up, because
Well, they'll all go out. Yeah, they'll all the first. I only got 2 buckets. I gotta triple them, so it's 1 to 3. I'll put that in the 25-gallon tank. That'll all go out on them. That'll go out, and the next day the rest will go out. So I'm not gonna have it sitting around. It'll all go on the hive.
yeah.
Don't put it in that
Yeah, I was thinking about, I wanted to ask Matt or some guys that make all this fondant that when you do an inverted sugars, it comes out thicker. That's why it's like 3 to 1. But I know you can add some water to it before it starts fermenting. I don't know if you can get it down to a 2 to 1 or 1.51 with half sugar water
Well,
versus inverted sugar.
well, you're putting you have to put when you do invert sugar, you have to do some sort of citrus, or what's that called? What's the right terminology? You put in some sort of what's citrus? You put a little citrus in it,
It's
and then
acidic.
that's your
Yeah.
preservative.
It's acidic.
That's yeah. You need to add a little acidic to help break that. You're breaking the particles apart for sugar. So
Right.
when you do that invert, you add some citrus. I think you can even do like a
Well,
baking soda.
Well, Bill, isn't that the
Uh,
same concept that Billy Davis had? He always said put 2 or 3 tablespoons of
Yep.
white vinegar in there.
Yep.
Vinegar in it.
Vinegar, same
Vinegar,
thing.
lemon
There's acidic.
juice, whatever
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
acidic you had on hand, you should put it 2 or 3 tablespoons of it in your
I do.
sugar water.
When I make my cakes, I put vinegar in it, white vinegar,
Mm-hmm.
because I do
Yeah,
know
so you should be okay.
it's acidic. They won't carry it out the front door as trash,
Yep.
supposedly.
So supposedly.
Well,
Right.
I think it's more to keep it. Well, it helps activate the breaking down to the invert stage, but it
Yeah.
also helps the fermenting and the mold and whatnot in the hive. But at that point, when I'm feeding that, they're taking it down so fast. You shouldn't really. I mean, the reason you're adding the acid is to complete the invert process.
Yeah. But then again, you got to look at it like this. The bees like the minerals. And they're not only are they looking for the proteins and the carbohydrates, but they need the acid to help digest everything.
Well,
'Cause they,
invert that you can use. Well, yeah, but invert don't they're able to just use that right away.
yes, they
They
are.
don't have to.
But you don't always want them using what they're taking in immediately. You want
Yeah,
them
yeah,
to
right,
store
right,
some
right.
of it
Yeah, yeah.
too. So
You want them to store it.
yeah, so you have to slow that process down with the acidity.
Remember to add 2 or 3 tablespoons of bleach. I mean, not bleach, of vinegar into my 1-to-1 sugar water.
Yeah. Now
I
you
add
can
bleach.
take. Dennis has a good comment on here. Some people add bleach and he doesn't.
Yeah.
But no, you shouldn't add bleach to the fondant. Where you need to put your bleach is out in your waterers. If you have
Yeah.
a bird bath or something out, you take a tablespoon of salt and a cap full of bleach and mix it all up. And that keeps the bird bath or whatever you have it in clean. But it also, if you notice, bees love swimming pools.
They
And
really
they'll go
do.
to a swimming pool to get
It's the
water
salt.
before they go to the creek. But if
Yeah,
they
so you don't
need
want to add
minerals,
bleach.
yeah, if they need minerals, they'll go to the creek because it's muddy water and there's minerals in that water.
Or they go down to the sawdust pile.
Yeah, or they go to the sawdust pile and get minerals out of the wood.
And I'm telling you, I'll have a patch of bees that looks like carpet on the sawdust.
Yeah.
Because the sawdust is wet and we can't see it with our naked eye, but I think it holds the water where they can land on there without getting drowned, and they can go and put their tongue in there and suck it up.
Yeah.
But sawdust, when it gets wet, it releases tannins out of the wood, and that's the minerals that they like.
Well,
Because
see,
I've seen it come out of like up at Blackwater Falls up there in West Virginia and Virginia. It rains so much, the tannins of the rotting down leaves and wood and all that water looked like it was mud, but it wasn't. It was the color. It was like coffee.
and it had the minerals and stuff in it they wanted. Now, Hilco, Brian just made this comment about Hilco being high fructose corn syrup at 55%. So
55, 45.
No, it's T55. It's 55%. That's what
You
that
want me to go take a
55
picture
means.
of my bucket? You want me to go take a picture of my bucket?
I just looked it up.
Yeah. Well, that'd be the easy way.
I'm talking about just this ingredient right here. The high fructose corn syrup 55.
55 fructose, 45 glucose.
Yes, so it's 55% fructose syrup. And the 45% glucose. So it's got sugar in it already. I don't know why they're adding more sugar to it and water. When you cut fructose syrup with water, at the maximum, you have a 30-day shelf life.
Wonder what they got in there he's got to have a preservative.
It's got to be a preservative in there of some sort.
Yeah.
And because I have totes of it sitting out here that went bad because when the tanker delivered it, they had washed the tanker out and they didn't drain the tanker fully, and it got water mixed up in it driving
Oh
to
man.
where we picked it up. So I got it home, went out there 45 days later because I had finished the tote I had and cracked the lid on it, and I couldn't even get near it.
Stunk that bad.
Yeah, it stunk that bad.
And
Yeah,
I read
Brian.
that.
Sugar is
Yeah.
is
So go
sucrose,
ahead, Bill.
but it's also there are sugars that are glucose as
Right.
well.
Fructose, glucose, sucrose. 3.
Yes,
And you
And
break them
that's that.
down. When you do the invert, you're breaking them apart.
yes, you're separating those molecules when you do the invert on them. That's correct. So
Yep.
it would be interesting to know if Hilco's putting an expiration date on those buckets.
Yeah.
All right, Nancy,
All right.
run out
Do
there.
you want me
Ran
to?
out.
Now
Yeah,
it's
go
time
out
to
there.
go to the garage. Hold on. I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Hold on.
Take a picture.
Hold on.
If we ain't got it, you don't need it.
Because when I first started using the fructose, I was told by the guy that gets it all the time, mix it a little at it, no more than what you can use in 30 days. And he said, at the 30-day mark, you got to throw it away because it's starting to ferment. And you
Right.
can just sit fructose syrup in a tote outside in the sun, wherever you want to sit it, and it will never go bad until you mix it with water. Then it cuts the shelf life down to 30 days.
Right. Okay.
Hey, Nancy's back.
She's transformed.
Yeah, she got a new high hairdo.
Not camera shy.
Well, you're not supposed to, Brian. You don't put them for kids at all. That's man. The red flags come up when you do videos.
Yeah.
I learned that real quick the first time around.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
YouTube's gone back a couple of times on me after I posted videos and they weren't for kids and changed them.
Yeah, you can edit them.
When it asks you that, it says it's not for kids. Is what you never. If you
Yeah.
say for kids, then there's a whole shit message you gotta fool with.
Yep.
Right.
Now the bee chats, I don't think are labeled that way unless YouTube labels them.
Mm.
What you doing there, pup?
What's the dog's name?
I don't know.
He probably can hear us.
Yeah, he's looking at the screen. He's looking right at the
Yeah,
camera.
boy.
Speak, boy, speak.
That's funny.
He's going to get mom now.
Oh,
Yeah,
what time
Brian,
is it?
it wasn't meant to be for kids, but like I said, YouTube goes back and does whatever the heck they want to do, I think. Because I didn't post it for kids. I checked not for kids. Oh, you
Here she
transformed back to a
comes.
person.
You got a different hairdo, Nancy.
You got a different hairdo, Nancy.
So Louis, I heard Louis
Yeah, he was
was
looking right at
visiting
the
y'all.
camera and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets into, he's a Nix Nuts. He's a poodle, but he's a Nix Nuts. It's right here right now too. So I looked at the buckets, no expiration date, and then I took a quick picture of the analysis. So it gives percentage: moisture, solids, fructose, dextrose, total carbs, iron, pH. So that 0.5 milligrams of iron per 100 grams
That's a lot.
might have something to do with the fermentation.
Yep, that's a lot.
Wonder why iron's in there.
The fermentation. That's what I'm guessing. pH 33.3 to 4.5. I can't get this up on screen. It'll just take me a second. But yeah, so that's probably something. I mean, I could probably call. I used to call John and he'd answer the phone too, just like Robbie. So I don't know if he does that anymore, but
Yes, that's why they're putting iron in it, but it depends on the type of fermentation. So it wouldn't be yeast.
all right.
Short answer is, I'm just gonna try to dig in and try to go from survive.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more conservative with some of our growth.
All right.
So yeah, you're right about the iron, Nancy. They're putting it in there to slow the fermentation down.
Yeah, that's what I would. So look at this. I don't know. Can y'all see that? Let me
Can you
see if I
make
can
it
blow it
bigger?
up. Yeah.
There you go.
So moisture, solids, fructose, dextrose, total carbs. See, iron jumps out
Yeah.
at you.
Yep.
Less than 0.5
100.
milligrams per
100
divided
grams.
by 100. No, it's 1.5 milligrams per 100.
It's 0.5
No,
milligrams per 100 grams.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's this asterisk?
Plus or minus
Oh man,
2%.
I paid $40 for 5-gallon bucket of high fructose corn syrup. Fool me once.
Yeah.
Yep.
And sugar water.
And sugar
Fool me
water.
once.
High fructose corn syrup and sugar water is what you paid $40 for.
All right,
Same
you got to
thing.
rub it in, Bill. Bill,
And
you
if
got to
you
rub
if
it
you
in.
want to pay $40 for it, I'll sell it to you for $8 a gallon.
Undiluted turbo boost will not crystallize or ferment. See that at the top?
Undiluted.
Undiluted. Yeah. Undiluted. Once you dilute it,
Dang.
it will.
Yeah.
He got me. He
Yeah, he
got
did.
me.
He did.
He got me.
I don't know.
You know,
I got some stuff from Main Lake. What's it called?
oh, yeah. What
Pro
is that
something.
called?
Pro
Sweet.
Sweet.
Pro Sweet.
Pro Sweet. I got some Pro Sweet. I mean, I still have some of it left from the last couple of years.
Yeah, it'll still be good.
And I found the main thing I tried it instead of using sugar water. It's costly, it's heavy,
Yep.
it kills my shoulders because I was going back from buckets to a tank and I said that ain't happening.
And you were feeding it straight, weren't you?
I was feeding it straight, yeah.
So you were feeding two to 1 or
3 to
3
1.
to 1. If you're feeding it straight, it's about the consistency of somewhere between 2 to 1 and 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Just like fructose is.
And
Yeah, Brian.
I didn't see the advantage of it. I'll put it to you that way. And but I use it on my, like if I'm feeding a bee hive, like a mating box or something like that, I'll use that because the bees can't smell it and they won't kill my mating boxes, which are right next door to my 10 framers.
Right.
And that's the only good thing about it.
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
sell it. I'm gonna post it and sell it because I haven't used high fructose corn syrup on my hives. Bill's laughing again. I haven't ever used high fructose corn syrup on any of my hives, so I'm gonna sell it at 100. What I got it for $40. I'll sell them for 40
Sell it for
plus I
$8
paid
a gallon.
20.
Just sell it for $8 a gallon.
Yeah, sold for $8 a
Hey,
gallon.
you know the funny thing about
Well, I don't-
Nancy? You can go to Coca-Cola and buy their Sprite, and that's the same syrup.
It is.
That's all the pop's made with.
And before they put the caramel color in Coke, it's Sprite. It's high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Sprite
Yeah.
is FHC 55.
Yeah, and if you take and you go in there and watch them make Coke, they add caramel color to that corn
To it.
syrup to turn it Coke color.
Right.
So $112. That's what he's saying on the website now. He was
Yep.
saying it was going to go up to 80. $112.
So I tell you
I'll-
what,
I'll-
hey Nancy, I'll buy it from you for $5 a gallon.
Bill, one thing you got to remember is I'm Mennonite.
You're what?
So I'm Mennonite.
You're a Mennonite?
Yes.
Mennonite.
So you're a
Yeah.
bonnet babe?
Huh?
You're a bonnet babe?
No, but yeah, I'm Mennonite. I was raised Mennonite, Mennonite school, Mennonite church. I was raised thick Mennonite. So I can turn $1. But I got had, so it's not going to sit too nicely for me. So I'm going to sell it, make my money back.
There you go.
Plus a couple bucks because I paid to have it brought up. I had a bunch of stuff brought up in a truck for the expo, so I paid. I gave a little bit of money towards that. So I need pain and suffering. I'll get my money back plus my delivery plus some pain and suffering. No, I don't want to divide the buckets up. I don't want to open them. So I don't want to sell it by the gallon. I want to just sell a whole bucket. Be done with it.
Oh, I guarantee
Oh,
you
the
can find somebody to
112.
buy it.
Oh, I will. I will.
DC's laughing at you too.
Who's got? We can hear your. Who's got the stream team on?
I
We can
do.
hear it. We can hear it. We can hear it coming through. But yeah, I'll sell it.
Early.
I thought he had something special there. Darn it.
Nope.
And those, they're heavy.
DC, I like that one.
Hopefully
What's
includes
the-
shipping.
Yeah, pain and suffering. It's pain and suffering because I'm in a lot of pain right now, DC, and I'm suffering because I just spent a lot of money for sugar water and it makes me mad.
Well, I got to come to Pennsylvania tomorrow. I'll come up there and pick it up, and that way I can get it for $5 a gallon because I won't have to have it shipped.
You're coming up to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I'm coming to Carlisle tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's still 2 hours. That's still two. How long does it take me to get to Carlisle? So I lived in Lancaster for about 20 years. So but I grew up here where I live now. But so I don't know how far I am from Carlisle. I used to be about an hour. I'm about out 2 hours. So that's a 4-hour turn for you. You're not coming my way.
No, because I'll be up there loaded and on the way back by 9 o'clock.
Toothacher is coming I want to figure out where Toothaker's coming. He's coming over here to pick something up. What is he coming for, Charlie?
Yeah, the crystalline.
Oh, right,
Microcrystal.
right. He said he's coming outside of Philly somewhere now, and he's York. So but I'm curious to where he's coming over here.
He's south of Harrisburg.
Yeah, York. York County, I think he said.
Yeah, you need to call John tomorrow and tell him you want your money back. See what he says.
Oh, I'll have to mute him. It won't be. I think he's half Mennonite too.
Who's that?
John.
John Hill.
Oh,
I think
well,
he's half
I mean,
Mennonite.
not the. I mean, what about? I mean, I actually went to a friend of mine died years ago, and he was, I guess, he was a Mennonite. It was a Mennonite church. I had never been in one. It didn't look any different than any other church.
Well, now they don't. Now they don't. They used to be plain. When I was young, we didn't have a piano, an organ. It was all a cappella. It was no Santa Claus, no Disney, no, nothing, no Christmas tree, very strict, like no adornment in concept, principle, or
Right.
Well, isn't there different? I know I asked a Mennonite, because I go up to Lancaster area there a lot, and she was explaining it was John Minnow, I think it is. It started the religion or something like that.
Menno, it was Menno Simons. Menno Simons he was actually a Catholic priest in the 1700s or something. And then Christopher Dock was his little protege that came over. And I think Menno Simons was 1600s. And then Christopher Dock came over in the 1700s, lived local here where I live now. And he built up some of that. Some of that. Now, other Mennonites came off the boat in 1700s. Different.
But isn't there different levels, I'll call it, or sects of Mennonites?
No, not necessarily. There's plain. So there's beachy Mennonite, which is what you see some of the so when you see so you'll see Mennonites and you'll see Amish. And then there's the one in between is a beachy Mennonite, where they're a little more, they have the plain dresses.
Well, the plain dresses, the guys usually have like a blue shirt, and that's it.
Yeah. So
and maybe it used to be black. They used to be, they would have to paint the bumpers on their cars black instead of chrome.
That's a black bumper Mennonite. Yeah, that's black bumper Mennonite. Yeah, we used to call them black bumpers, but what they really were, I don't know. But I wasn't that. We weren't that. We're not that.
Well, then, I mean, I asked you, you don't, the Mennonites usually the girls have the white cap
coverings, but my generation, so I'm from the 80s. I mean, so actually I did see a girl I went to high school with at the Tractor Supply, and she still wears a covering, but I never wore a covering. We didn't, but my mom did. But I so as the generations get further and further away, they drop some
just
of
like that. I know some of the Amish guys who are still Amish, I'll say straw hat Amish, they got cell phones and everything. The young ones, they're hot and heavy on their cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, you're getting a lumber from an Amish.
Yeah, he's I don't know if he's old order or new order. So I know that all of his farm equipment that he owns, it has to have steel wheels. He's got a 0 turn with steel wheels on it, except for the front tires. It's got rubber tires on that. His combine has rubber tires. He can lease equipment with a cab, and he can keep the glass in the cab and rubber tires on it because it's leased. But if he purchases it, all the glass has got to go and the rubber tires have to go. I think that's old order.
What's the glass got to do with it? They've had glass in their house for years.
Don't know, but he can't have it on a tractor. Now he owns a pickup, but he's got a Yoder toter that drives it.
Yeah.
Now, Bill, are you
Yeah, they have
sure he owned
drivers.
it or he just had it? That somebody gave it to him?
He owns it.
Okay, because I know the Amish by my brothers, they're not allowed to own anything, but they have everything. It
Yeah.
was given to
Well, the
them,
church, well, so back up a
or they
second. The
bartered
church
for
owns
it.
the property. The church owns the property.
Yeah.
They don't really own, it's the properties and
It kind of
businesses
depends
and
on what the
whatnot.
local church says, the deacons and the church
It
say.
depends on the
Yes.
bishop.
Yeah,
It depends on your
Yes.
bishop. So that's what it all depends on right there.
Because I know one
But
guy,
the-
he used to sell us advertising, and somebody, Amish guy, went into business. I mean, I don't know what the business was at the time, but anyway, he went more or less broke, and he owed this advertising guy some money for, stuff that you give away. And he finally went to the bishop, and then he got his money. I think the church wrote the check
Yeah.
and all that
Mhm.
stuff.
But I mean, he doesn't have a computer. He'll take a check and cash. No credit cards. He's got a fax. Finally, the church let him get a fax machine. And he does have a telephone. But the telephone's not in the house. It's
out in the field.
There's one in the saw shop, and there's one in the barn where his office is. So
The other thing too is if the Amish are side by side, I can tell them apart. But if I see one and then it goes a while and I don't see one and then I see one again, it's hard. But the one is that the one that I notice is that their clothes are pinned together. They don't even sew their clothes; it's pins. They
Yeah.
pin.
Girls have straight pins.
yeah.
So that's a group. There's SEC something like, but they're different sects of Amish. But and I lived in Lancaster for almost 20 years. I lived on the west side of the not on the east side where they mostly are, but the real tourism.
Yeah.
But so that was one thing that I could tell by the women. And then there's some that still wear all black. Like my Grammy, she only ever wore black. Nothing but black.
Huh.
And then my mom had the cape dresses and stuff, but that's Mennonite,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
brother.
now Urban, when I started dealing with him, when you saw him out working the farm and out and around, he always had a white or a light colored hat on. Now he wears a dark colored hat all the time. The only time I've ever seen him without a hat is at Nobby.
Well,
Yeah.
does he wear a straw or do he wear a black felt?
Both.
That's what I figured. A black felt usually is a winter hat and straws during the summer.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that
I think it
anything
has
to
something to do with his position in the church. Because when he went from white to black, I think it has something to do with position in the church.
Oh, you might be right there. You might be right there.
So with your grandmother, Nancy, and she was wearing black, was there a transition where they were originally Amish and they kind of filtered, transitioned
No.
out?
Nope. The Mennonites were always Mennonite. They weren't ever Amish.
Yeah,
Because it went back to Menno Simons. Menno Simons was a priest. He was a Catholic priest, didn't see eye to eye with the situation and then created, kind
Well,
of.
that's how all these religions came about.
Yeah.
We
Right, the
all
Lutherans.
the original religion was Catholic.
Catholicism, yes. Catholicism ruled, of course.
The Baptist, somebody got Luther didn't like whatever, and that's how Luther.
Yeah, Calvin.
Lutheran.
And then how the Baptist was the same way. They're all offshoots of all
I think
that.
that's Calvin.
And then
Yeah.
Webster
Yeah.
with the Methodist Church and
Yeah, Thomas
Yeah,
was with
Catholicism goes back to what the I don't even know when it was, but
who
18,
knows?
11, I don't know, 13, whenever that was.
Whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. But no, the Mennonites were always Mennonite. They were never Amish. They're not an offshoot of Amish. And then you have the Brethren. The Brethren is
Church of the
also,
Brethren.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the ones with the little gray hats. The boys wear the gray hats,
Yeah.
and they're kind of plain and all.
Yeah.
I don't know
We got Amish in Vermont.
where did they come out at? They were sort of Mennonite or what?
Who? Which one?
Church of the Brethren.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know that I always thought United Methodist Church. That's what my family went to, and I thought it was because there was a couple churches here that they closed down, and they have the one church down the road here where they united the two churches together. But then what I found out is the Church of the Brethren and the Methodists got together way back when and formed a business or whatever you want to call it.
Yes, all of that and all those names have to do with the doctrine itself. It's usually the doctrine
Yeah.
that comes into where they have somebody doesn't agree with something and then they branch off.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the Brethren, so when my mom left the Mennonites and went with went with the Brethren, but they were still plain. But the Brethren are not, I don't think that they're part of the Amish either. I think the Amish, there's a bunch of different types of Amish, but the Amish are Amish. They're not,
Right.
you don't
Yeah.
turn
Where I
into
grew
something
up
else.
in Fauquier County, man, there's all kinds of Mennonites in one certain area of the county. That's where they stay. So
So did
Yeah.
you know how to talk German then and all that kind of stuff like the Amish do or not?
Pennsylvania Dutch, no. When I was little and they didn't want me to hear what was going on, then they went into the slang,
That sounds
German.
familiar, Nancy.
I can read it. I can read it, but I can't. I mean, I can figure out what you're saying, kind of, but not really. And yeah,
In
no.
high
That was
school,
like,
I wanted to take German, and my parents wouldn't let me. It was really my grandparents wouldn't let me.
Ah,
there was a guy. Now this is back in the 1970s, and this farmer up the road here was getting a new silo put up, and the Dutch were putting it up for him, And there happened to be a guy there that used to be, I think, a milk inspector up in Pennsylvania. So he learned how to speak Dutch, and those young guys were up on the umbrellas, they call it, inside that thing, and blah 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 blah, and I don't know what they said, but he went up there and he said something right back at him. Boom, they were done. They weren't talking nothing.
they weren't talking anymore.
They ain't talking no more.
It's just a slang. It's just a
Because
slang.
the other guy was there that did. No, you don't speak Dutch. No, I don't speak Dutch. And then this guy showed up on the.
The born in my background. The Amish built that for me.
Yeah, but this guy showed up. He knew it, and he spit back at him, and that was all right. We're done talking now.
yeah.
But
That's German. Woo! Can't get much more stubborn than that. I think that's worse than an Irish German.
Well, I got to get up early in the morning, fellas and ladies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to Carlisle. How long does it take you to get there?
Like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
he's going right. He
Wow.
gets on 81 and boom up the road.
Yeah. There you
I
go.
get off at
Okay,
exit
okay.
34 off of 81.
I didn't look you up, Bill. I don't know where you're at exactly yet. But so you're probably, what'd you say, 2.5 hours?
2 hours and 40 minutes. And I run with traffic.
From Winchester to your place to down to Woodstock, what is that? About 30 miles, 50 miles?
I'm almost exactly halfway between Harrisonburg and Winchester, and I'm 42 miles from Winchester. So I'm gonna say it's right around 35 to 40 miles.
Woodstock. I got to remember that. Woodstock,
That's easy
Virginia.
to
I did.
remember.
Yeah.
If you're a child of the 60s, you ought to remember Woodstock.
Yeah,
I was born in the 60s. Let's not be mistaken.
so was I.
So
At
was
the
I.
very first, second year of the 60s.
Yeah, me too. I was born in 62.
I was
I'm not that old
61.
yet.
So
I'm not that
60,
old.
61. So I just got a year on you, Bill.
Yep.
Me and Mark Miller are the same age.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay, I see where you're at. Huh.
Yeah, I'm right off of 81.
Oh, wow. You're not that far. I'm thinking you were way out west somewhere. You're not
No,
that far. You're really not that far. You're
no.
close to Charlie.
Yeah. But I'm close to him, but for me to go to Charlie's house from here to Baltimore is 3.5 hours for me.
Mm.
No, it ain't that far. It's about 3 hours.
Depends on traffic around either one of the beltways.
Yes, that could make a big
Yeah,
difference.
that's huge difference. So
19,
it
we got
takes
another 1961. 1953.
53. Mike's a
That's
youngster.
a pop.
Yeah.
Just
yeah, it
kidding.
is.
Kidding you, Mike.
Dennis is the same as me. 63 years old.
It says it's
Dennis.
34 miles
Yeah.
from 7 to your intersection.
Yep.
Where's Dennis Barney from? Where are you from, Dennis? I don't have you in my book.
I know Mike's from Vermont.
And for me, it's I'm going to call it 3 hours. They say 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it's 148 miles the way I go. So about 3 hours. Every 50 miles, I consider an hour.
Texas. Dennis is
Yeah.
Texas too. Boy, we got a lot of Texas guys on here.
Yeah, I commuted from Leesburg, Virginia to just west of city of Baltimore for 4 years.
All right. Good night, Bill.
Good night. Y'all have a good evening.
All right.
And
Yeah,
let
we're
me know
gonna-
if you want me to buy
I'll,
that bucket of stuff from you, Nancy.
Charlie, that's just like me going down to Louisville. It's only 114 miles, but it takes me 2 hours just
Mhm.
because of traffic.
Well,
Just traffic.
I've they all say what Google can say, tell you what it is, but I've learned that I don't care if you're going 65, 70 mile an hour, it takes you an hour per 50 miles.
It does. That's why I say
Yeah.
I run with traffic when I go to Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hit the West Virginia line and I'm running with tractor trailers, I'm running between 78 and 83, going up 81.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have a good evening.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll be
see
talking to
y'all
you, Bill.
Friday. All right.
I'll see you Friday morning.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All
Yep.
right, later.
Good night.
I'm signing off too.
All
Oh,
right.
Tom, me and you started beekeeping the same year,
Yeah.
2018. Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Yep.
that now. Yeah.
We talked about
All
that
right, good night.
once somewhere.
Yeah, we did. Now that I saw the date, I remember again. Yep. All right. Good night, guys. Thanks,
All right.
everybody, for coming.
Cool.
Yep. See ya.
All right, hon.
See
You
ya.
want to talk about anything?
No, I'm good. I gotta stand up.
All right. I'll talk to you
All right.
later. Then.
Good night.
All right,
I'll talk to
see
you. Bye bye.